Yo, this is Wack 100. Catch me on 100 episode of the Bootleg Kev Podcast. And yo, Kev, delete that. Delete that. I don't want people to hear that. Delete that, bro. For real, delete that.
It's the Bootleg Kev Podcast 100th episode.
Yeah.
So we
let's
recorded like an hour and a half with you, and then you left.
Yep.
And then like 10 minutes after you left, there was this headline about you leaving a comment about how much money you've lined up for 6ix9ine, and then there's some audio that's out there now. And we had just had this long conversation that was a little, I guess that wasn't out there yet. So I was like, yo, Wack, you got to come back in. So this is the beginning of the interview. You're going to keep watching this. There's a lot of gems throughout the rest of the interview, but there is some 6ix9ine stuff that might be a little dated. So Wack, let me just start this. Are you managing 6ix9ine?
Definitely not. I think at this time in 6ix9ine career, and from what he's been through, the word manager is not appealing to him. Right? It'll take, for anybody that wants to beat at the 6ix9ine, you're going to have to be in a box with him and do a bunch of business for him to establish some type of trust. But I don't think 6ix9ine is manageable to a point to where he's going to let somebody control the narrative.
Would you?
But what he will or has allowed is for me to utilize his name in the buildings that I have some say-so in and relationships in to do some business, if it's some business there.
If he came to you and said, Wack, I would want you to be my manager, would you consider it?
At this point in time, I couldn't be 100% management to 6ix9ine.
Or could you be like a co-manager with the Murder Murphy guy, or whoever?
Definitely, I wouldn't do that either. What I would do is I have a lot of management teams out there, a lot of people that I'm friends with, that I'm real cool with, that I know, that understand this business like I understand it. I would probably negotiate something with them and put them in place. But at this time where he's at, right, a full-time manager is not what he needs. He just needs somebody that has the resources and the reach to get things done. You got to remember, before he left, he was running around with a bunch of street dudes claiming to be a manager. Right?
Right.
I used to be the street dude that didn't understand the industry. So I
used to be that guy.
I understand the difference between the street dude claiming the title versus really living that title. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So I think what a lot of people see, like, watch this. Who's Lil Nas X manager?
I have no fucking idea.
You know why? Because their management team operates from a building, the cell phone, through attorneys, and they send their little assistant guy out to make sure shit's done, right? What you guys are used to Wack doing is I'm hands-on with my artists.
And we know, right? We know like Wack manages Blueface. We know Wack manages Game, Ray J, etc.
Yeah, I'm hands-on with my artists. So when people see them, they see me. It's a direct thing, right? With a guy like 6ix9ine, right? Something like that probably would be set up. Would he ask me one day, hey, Wack, could you set me up, or do you know these dudes? He probably would, because in a short period of time, all I've done was, you got a product, right? 6ix9ine, let's take away all the bullshit. He's a product, right? When you're talking about business, right?
Yeah, entertainment business.
If you have a product, if I got this phone, right? And this is the 6ix9ine phone, right? And I know that I have distribution reach in 12 countries because of my prior relationships. I can box this phone up, mail it out to each country, my liaison, and say, hey, can you guys do something with this phone? They're going to say, well, Wack, we heard a few things about this phone, but are we dealing with you directly? And I'm going to say, yeah, you're dealing with me directly. You won't have to deal with the guy on the phone, right? And they say, okay, Wack, based upon me, our relationship, yeah, we could distribute 5 million phones a year for you, right? Okay, my attorney will be in touch with you. At that point in time, it's simply a contract a letter of direction, and a signature.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Essentially, what you're doing is contracting your services to 6ix9ine.
No, what I'm doing is
like you're setting up plays. You're making sure
he has a value to himself, right?
Right.
And I have resources for the things that's valuable about this young kid, right? So simply what I'm doing is I'm just
bringing them together.
And
you're getting your cut.
That's it.
Obviously.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
That's business.
That is business. So,
and it's not a extra cut on top of a cut because he is who he is. You know what I mean? Some people would say, well, fuck that. You putting your name on the line, you should get 50% instead of
what you would normally get.
Right? Mm-hmm. And, you know, some people might want to play it like that, right? But in my world, it's like, you know, greed, greed don't get you nowhere. You know what I mean? Do what you do, take it, keep it moving. Maybe y'all do some more business later, maybe you won't. But if you gouge a person, it's a good chance you won't. Especially if you know that they're in a situation where they might have to do it. You know what I'm saying? A person knows that. Then they know that he could have gouged me, but he didn't. You know what I mean? I've gotten all kind of phone calls, movies, NFT, touring. Fuck it, you name it. Crazy shit. Goddamn. I ain't gonna name the endorsements, but people contact my attorney. Mm-hmm. My attorney says
6ix9ine.
Yeah, my attorney. Well, they contact my attorney because they're like, well, Wack, can we talk to you? We've been wanting to do this business. Right? So can we send this to you? And can you let us know if this could happen? Hey, listen, bro. I understand why guys in the streets are saying what they're saying.
About you working with them?
The reason why I understand them because I used to be that guy when I was like 15 years old. Right? I don't expect that guy to understand what I'm doing because that guy hasn't elevated. He don't even understand business. He probably still hustling in the streets, whatever he's doing, right? So I understand his mindset because I used to have that mindset, right? When I was an adolescent, right? Corporate America and the streets, two total different worlds.
I mean, that's what you're saying. You'll see later on in the interview where you were talking about the people up on that 50th floor.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people get on that floor. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people get in those meetings.
Nobody has handpicked me and said, you're going to be the one to go in and represent us and none of that. You know what I mean?
It does sound like, though, you're kind of like doing a lot of stuff that a manager would do for him.
Well, I don't know because I can't tell you what 6ix9ine's life consists of day to day. You ask me about Game, Ray J, or Blueface, I can tell you pretty much day to day, week by week,
of course,
month by month.
Because you're extremely hands-on with
what we got to do.
Right.
I can't tell you what he's doing. I can't tell you where he is right now, what he has to do tomorrow. The only thing I can elaborate on if somebody calls me and tells me, hey man, we want to do a tour from January 15th to fucking March, and I can say, well, from January 15th, he'll be on tour in Europe, right? If that was the case, right? I know that because it's been contracted. So I don't know what his day-to-day, what he's doing, what other situation he's doing, all his deals and all his paperwork. I don't know who's overseeing those things.
Some would say, like, at least from my perspective, I think, like, if he's ever going to be relevant again musically, he almost needs a Wack 100.
No, because
I'm not saying, I
don't make his music. I wouldn't know how to make his music.
But I just think it makes the 6ix9ine pill a little easier to swallow if Wack 100 is.
See, that's where y'all keep getting it wrong at. The Wack 100 crowd, right, is no different than the Blueface crowd. They don't give a fuck what I think. Now, the Game crowd is my crowd.
Right.
It's people from my generation and a little under me that's his fan base. The 6ix9ine crowd wouldn't give a fuck if it was Wack 100 or Daffy Duck or nobody at all. They're into his music. I couldn't even tell you the chemistry of this young man's music. I don't know what producers he worked with.
So you haven't been helping him at all with music or maybe getting features?
I've never been in the studio with him. I've never done anything like that. I don't feel he need a feature personally.
But you've heard the new music?
Oh, definitely.
And
I heard about 4 songs.
What's your opinion on it?
Oh, he got some hits. They hits.
They're hits.
I've called in people that hate his guts, radio.
Right.
Hate 6ix9ine guts. And they said, I hate the fact that I like this music and I hate this individual.
Right.
The product is the product. It ain't, it's not my kind of music, right? But his fan base, yeah, he's there. What I will say is, if I have anything to do with any other music, we definitely have understanding that there's no disrespecting
anybody dead,
dead homies or any artist in particular. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I touch, gotta be just music. And I think really he's at a point in his career where he shouldn't have to do that anymore anyway.
So you pretty much have an agreement with him that if you do get involved on the music side, that the disrespect has to...
Yeah, anything I touch. I mean, I don't know, he may go do some other random shit. That's his business. I can't control that. But if I'm touching it, right, it can't be, you know what I mean? You talking about, somebody that's dead, right, shit like that. I'm really not off into that.
So is that something that you think is going to end up happening, where you're kind of like helping him out on the music side?
I've looked at his contracts because I needed to understand that was what. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of things that goes along with, publishing deals and things of that nature. He's still signed to who he signed to.
Right.
That's still their business, but I will look at his contract, because if he has any question about what's going on or what's not going on, I need to be able to answer that, right? Which, I got a legal team. My attorney, Samron Singh, is one of the best in the business. So he overlooks everything to see what's what. And I'm not really here to ruffle any feathers at his label, to take him from one label to another label. His comfort zone is where it's been. It really needs to be there, right? But if a question's asked to me, I need to be able to answer that. I understand that, because if I'm doing business over here, let's say a movie situation, they say, hey, we want him to do the soundtrack, right? I need to understand what his obligations to his label is. Can this be done? Does this have to run through his label, or is this something that can be done independently, without going that direction? So that's the reason why I look through those type of things.
The $43 million of business you've set up, is it?
It's a little more than that, but
it's a little bit more than that, right?
You got to remember, you're talking about an artist, man, that's good for like 5,000 to 8,000 tickets that ain't never been on tour. You do the math. You know what I'm saying?
So that vastly is live shows.
Well, you got a fight in there. It's 20 million.
So the Blueface fight.
Yep, you got NFT deals in there, multiple NFT deals.
And you set all this up.
Crazy. You got publishing situations that's crazy.
You quarterbacked it all.
You got European touring. That's that's crazy. You got to remember, all my tours, I route. Me and my wife route.
And you guys have been in Europe.
I have a liaison on the other side named Finn, but all my tours I route. My wife does all the COSs and the clearance, passport clearances. I do the booking of all the hotels, the backline, game travels with a band, the tour busing, flights.
You handle it all.
I do all that shit on this phone.
Yep.
Ain't no agency, ain't none of that, right? So it's nothing, all the ferry costs, all bus routing. Remember I own a trucking business 20-something years, so it's the same shit. So I do all of that. So it's just a simple text blast. Hey, listen, give me some feedback on what you guys could do, right? He's just he's an arena artist. So when you think about
it's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, you think about it. You talking about a minimum of $350 that can go up to access to, once you do your back end cut up or your splits at the doors and merch, $750,000 a night. So it really ain't no money that I put out there. It's some money, but if you do the math on that, it accumulates, it adds up.
And shit, that's a lot. Do we know any sort of window when this fight's gonna happen?
It's not gonna happen in the U.S.
Okay.
So it's gonna probably be overseas, Middle East, Saudi Arabia somewhere.
Dubai or something?
Probably not Dubai. Dubai and Bahrain may come together and do something with Saudi. Saudi's kind of making a move to be like Dubai.
Makes sense.
We're looking at putting it over there. The good thing about it is the actual Minister of Finance, of Entertainment, over there is the one handling it personally.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but that's a resource. That's a resource I have.
Yeah, you brought to the table.
I can reach straight there. I ain't got to go over here,
That's
go
big.
over here. So, at the end of the day, it'll happen over there. But even with that, that's just a flat fee. Once it's announced, now you got to think about, maybe Starbucks or maybe Skittles or maybe, fucking Coke
sponsorships.
Sponsorships are going to come. So that's just business, man. And I don't know, maybe I've matured and grown to a point to where some shit don't matter to me.
The shit that used to matter to you that would keep you up at night, like, don't. I mean, at the end of the day, we all evolve, yeah.
I mean, listen, it was a point in my life, this real shit, that if I was out in public and me and my homeboys and somebody told me, yo, that's that nigga Kev dog from motherfucking San Diego, yeah, we rolled him up off the yard because he snitched on the nigga, right? I'm not from San Diego. I wasn't on the yard, don't know him. At a point in my life, I'd have did something to that man. Just because of the politics that I was under, right? Today you can tell me, hey, yo, that's such and such, such and such, such and such, such and such. I don't give a fuck. Business of it is mine. It's not my business. Whoever need to deal with that, need to deal with that. For real. Now, I'm a strong belief in street business, street conversation, street talk. My homeboys from my neighborhood, other damus or whatever the fuck, I would never use the value of a bag or any of that to bring that around 6ix9ine because that was part of his problem. When that element comes around, he feeds off into it. And I really think he needs another element around him.
Well,
he needs a more...
him leaning into the YouTube shit is perfect.
He needs a more, Tyler, the Creator type surrounding around here, somebody that's
he's hanging out with Steve Will Do It, which is perfect. I don't know if you know them Nelk Boy dudes, but he's on the Nelk Boys like every week. I think that's like right up his.
Yeah, he needs to get in his lane, bro, and be around his people. You know what I mean, and have the proper people around him. You know what I mean, my demographic and what I bring is not what needs to be around him every day. I got a little crazy Crip nigga. I got Game, that's a G Paru. You know what I mean? I got Ray J that is what he is. You know what I mean? So I got to maintain those elements to make sure my people are straight. I can't put that around that because it's totally contradicting of what I'm saying he shouldn't have never been a part of.
You and my son have had some words before on the internet. He's someone who used to be affiliated with the game back in the day, right?
He went on a tour too.
Right. I didn't know if he was ever Black Wall Street officially.
Never. He went on a tour.
But, he's somebody who's obviously...
No disrespect. My son I'm not going to say was my man. He's still my man. It's just getting a little weird because we've always done our debates.
Right. I was going to say, it seems like it's at least a semi-respectful disagreement. At least,
yeah, but he's getting a little weird with shit. I seen some shit last night he put up.
Yeah, I saw what he put up last night, and I think my son's like a great leader. Like, as far as everything that's been going on. I mean, just always you can look for my son for like direction as far as like if you want to know.
I mean, that's what he turned himself into. He's kind of like this, like Martin Luther King type, revolutionary type dude, which is kind of confusing because, like, yo, listen, if you that, stop talking about street shit. My son, and like that's my man. I didn't. Seeing my son by itself is all love. Like, it's people that's in New York got to tell you they didn't heard me and my son orchestrating shit over the phone. That's my man. Like, I don't want to see nothing happen to him. I don't got it in my heart to do nothing to him. But on the flip side, my son, I had nothing to say when you was running around with Vlad. We all knew, Rick Ross never said nothing either. Niggas suing Rick Ross, lawsuits, criminal cases, and filing shit. You know what I'm saying? Because Rick Ross then whooped on Vlad ass. Talking some street shit, you run around with Vlad, but you know why you was running around with Vlad? Because Vlad was giving you your exposure. Your platform, which is business. I understood that was business. I understood that you wasn't running around with Vlad saying, nigga, this Vlad TV or nut, nigga, whatever come with, you wasn't doing that. You were utilizing that platform because Vlad is a big platform.
Huge platform.
And you was doing your rap thing or whatever it is you was doing, and that was working for you, right? I didn't say, hey, my son. And we talked, I got long phone history with my son. Right. Text messages for years, right? Hey, my son on some real street shit. What you doing with Vlad? You know he doing that to Rick Ross, a street nigga. It was business. Yeah. But I don't know. I think maybe he runs out of things to talk about. And if he runs out of things to talk about, by all means, as a brother, he can utilize my name to bring some publicity to him. I ain't mad at that. It's entertainment. I ain't tripping.
No, I mean that's a
I'm not
very
tripping.
mature way of looking at it.
Yeah, I'm not tripping.
Okay, we talked before the cameras were rolling, and I'm not going to use any names.
And to all my people, let it be known.
Yeah.
My sign in my book is not my enemy. Everybody that love me, that'll just move for me without saying nothing. I don't want nobody ever to approach my sign in a threatening way or question him about anything that got to do with Wack 100. That's between me and my sign.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Period.
That's some real shit.
Yeah.
I want to kind of peel the curtain back a bit without mentioning any direct names or albums, but you had said essentially, let's have the conversation we had before the cameras were rolling, but let's exclude all names, right? Mm-hmm. That you had helped a recent project hit a crazy amount of streams its first week.
Yeah.
And we're talking a big project. We'll let people guess in the comments, but there's only been a few of these projects that have dropped this year that everyone's talked about. So explain what happened and kind of peel back the curtain a bit on the industry and how a lot of these.
I mean, listen, I'm gonna say it in so many terms. The process of music, it starts with the artist, the appearance of the artist, the studio time, the production, all that, mix, mastering, right? The video and all that. After that comes the marketing, right? You can't spend to our indie guys 10, 15,000 on a song and then nothing on marketing. The bigger the artist is, the bigger the situation is, the bigger the marketing budget is.
Right.
And when it comes to marketing, it's a real brainwashing process that people don't understand, right? You have seeding companies. So what I mean by seeding is like, you'll be looking up and you'll say, Lil Baby donates $15,000 to the schools for books. It'll be on a random thing, right? You don't understand. It has you thinking about Lil Baby. Lil D-Dog does 1 million streams in 24 hours. If you don't know who Lil D-Dog is, you're going to hit that link. Who the fuck is this? Oh, follow. Oh, that's your song. Stream, right? So it's a lot of other types of marketing outside of just putting your shit up, right? Just like radio, bro. You work radio.
Of course. We know what it is.
You have mix show, right? And you have your ads. Then you have your positioning leading up to your rotation. It's been songs I've hated. Lil Wayne, one of the greatest of all time. I hated Lollipop. 6 weeks, 7 weeks in the radio, 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm driving up the freeway,
singing that
like
shit.
a Lollipop shorty on the thug.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm hearing this shit so much, mentally, my mind started to like it. So it's the same shit when it comes to digital marketing, right? It's a whole nother process that happens for us to highlight an artist and keep him in front of you.
And by that, like boosting streams.
I mean, streams are boosted by these, by doing these things.
Okay,
right?
okay.
People follow the number, bro. Like, let's say, for instance, we watch Kanye and Drake. They already have a fan base, right? But every day you saw Donda
does this many streams first day.
Right?
Right.
Now, let's erase Donda, Kanye, and Drake, and let's say it's Lil E. Right? Or True Card, one of my artists. True Card streams 2 million 24 hours, right? The people that follow True Card that didn't know that was there are gonna go. And the people that don't know True Card, they're gonna say, who the fuck is True Card? Let's go see what they talking about. Right? Now, money was spent for these things to be put in front of you. So when you work in 10, 15 different platforms from your smallest on up, right? That happens. So that in turn drives the stream, right? Not only does it drive the stream, it creates your fan base. That's your ticket sales at your concerts.
So what you would do is have a digital marketing company.
Definitely.
That
YouTube
you would,
side, digital
you
side.
would drop a bag with, and then they would get your song on a shit ton of user curated playlists.
That not only that, even on your YouTube side, you can run ads.
Right. So you could do YouTube ads on one side, then on the
How
Spotify.
many times you been watching fucking the baby,
and then somebody's song
whoever,
pops up,
and I'm watching strictly that shit. I'm working out.
Video comes
all
on.
I want to hear is right. It's about 4 songs come on. This is how I discovered Rod Wave. No shit.
Wow.
Crazy about Rod Wave. One of my favorite young rappers.
He's incredible.
Right. I'm working out and I'm listening to the baby shit, and out of nowhere, fuck song come on. Now don't think Rod Wave just came on because it came on. That's programming.
Yeah, no,
they went in and
buys.
did what they did.
Yeah.
Ad buys, right? From that, I follow Rod Wave. I stream. It's not a day that's went by in the last year that I haven't listened to Rod Wave's music off of Spotify. Right? And I've since then shared it with about 100 of my friends. And that's my age.
And that's how this works.
Fuck with this youngster. Now, I don't know how many people
did the same thing.
Shared it with, and this how this works. Now, how many people like me discovered it like that, right? And these are the things that people just simply don't know about. When people say the machine at the labels, not only is the finance there, but the politics of relationships there that says when certain labels call, they're going to get a slide. You know what I'm saying? So, it's I won't say it's a controlled thing, but it's definitely a machine. It's the politics.
Will this happen where, have you seen this happen where there's a project that's coming out and the label drops a bag to boost the streams? And I'm not saying that they're not organic streams, because with a lot of these digital marketers.
And when you say stream boosting,
I mean, like,
it's not that people coming in saying,
it's not like there's like a,
all right, we're paying for these streams to be like this. Stream boosting comes in like
different forms,
10, 15 different forms,
right,
of marketing.
Right. So have you seen it where a label will literally drop a stupid bag to ensure their album gets to be #1 for the week?
Well, the insurance comes from, first of all, understand this. Labels know, right? You notice no other artist dropped the weeks of Kanye and Drake.
True.
We know who's dropping, for one. So you don't fuck around with shit like that.
Well, Kanye dropped Sunday at 8 a.m., which was,
Well, you don't fuck around with shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Because now, well, you might want to spend $100,000, $200,000 on a full digital marketing campaign, right? You fuck around with some shit like Kanye, that's like you spend $20,000. Because, you know what I mean? They just won't work one song, they'll work 15. You just stay out of that traffic. That shit bigger than you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't, certain people you don't fuck with. You just let them get out the way and you let it blow over for about 3 weeks or a month. Then you come in and drop your back. So when I say that to say this, if a label's like, all right, we got a marketing budget of $500,000, right? They already know that $500,000 they're gonna spend here, there, here, YouTube, our seeding companies, radio, shit like this. You ever went to Spotify, right? And you go to Spotify.
By the way, for everyone who DMs me every day, you cannot pay to get on my platform.
Listen,
anyway,
you go to Spotify and let's say Rap Caviar, right? Coil Ray's picture.
Yep.
She's the cover of Rap Caviar. You don't realize if you go into Rap Caviar just to listen to the playlist, soon as you see that, your first thing your mind's gonna say is,
let me check out the song on here.
Coil Ray got on
That's
here.
what I do too. Every time someone's on the cover, I go like, what? Let me see what song's on here from these motherfuckers.
You understand? Now, one thing about Spotify, they pretty much handpick who they want.
100%.
Spotify give you a call like, hey, we want y'all to be the cover of this, and that. But all this shit, right, is things that are done to kind of, because it's been done time and time again, we know we spend this here, there, based upon the artist's following now, we can expect this kind of traffic. You know what I'm saying? It's just like lab rat shit, bro. They know we get this motherfucker, this dose, this happened, this dose, it's the same shit. So when you hear people saying that, yeah, you got motherfuckers say, well, fuck it, we gonna spend $3 million. They know that $3 million is gonna guarantee organically, after they do all exposure, $3 million should bring us, 300,000, 400,000 album sales. They know these things, you know what I mean?
They got it figured out.
They got it figured out. That's just what it is.
Last thing I want to talk about, without getting into the specifics of the incident, but really, obviously, one of your artists, Blueface, got into an altercation. It's all over the internet right now. I don't want to get into what actually happened, but I do want to get into some of the things that you were saying about this before we started the interview, just about like, for any artist who's watching this, you know, about staying out of places where you're not getting it back. Like kind of, you know, obviously, you know, Blueface a great dude.
Yeah, when you're an artist, you're a business. Regardless of what your homies say or what whoever say, you're a business. Everything about you is a business. What you say, what you do. You know, if he has a car accident, it's not going to be, you know, Jonathan Porter had a car accident. It's going to say Blueface, the rapper, was involved in the car accident. The car accident has nothing to do with music, but because it's him, he's a business. And you're a target. You know, in this situation, somebody pulled a weapon out on him. You know what I mean? They pulled a knife out on him. Man had to defend himself. You know what I mean? And when things start to happen, you know what I mean? When you seeing camera footage, you only seeing
a part of it.
You know what I mean? But once again, it's like that's why I urge rappers to keep the proper tools around you that's going to absorb those things to where those things happen. The wall is around you to where they can't really get to you. You know what I mean? This is what security is for.
I mean, you've been that wall before.
Yeah, I've taken
Shout
that
out
hit.
to Stitches.
I've taken that hit. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just me. You know, but unfortunately, Blueface is young, man. He has a life. And I think his struggle with this music thing is sometimes he wants to be normal. And I'm trying to get him to understand is you're not normal. As much as you want to be normal, that's the downside to this shit.
He's also an extremely tall, good-looking kid with tattoos. So it's not a very like when he goes out, it's like
another one of his downfalls is he's genuinely a nice guy.
He is, yeah.
So he's not an asshole to where if you walking up on him, he gonna be like, hey, get the fuck away from me, have people stop you. He genuinely is a nice guy. He's gonna talk, have a conversation, which opens him up
to more
if
variables.
The dude walking up is on some bullshit, right? So what you don't see is a dude walks up and then Blue like being cool, hey, well, how you doing? Yeah. And then he like, hey, fuck your mama, spits at him or some shit, right? Now, the artist, that's a human being, reacts. Now it's, oh, Blueface did this, right? And then that's how it goes. So that's the pros and cons to this shit. You know, when you're that, right? You can either be regular and not have nobody pay any attention to you and be a hell of an entrepreneur and get your money, right? I've known entrepreneurs at one point in time, shout out to White Boy Cole, who had more money than everybody in the motherfucking club was standing outside in front of the supper club, couldn't get in because they didn't know who he was. You know what I mean? So when Game said, that's my partner, bring him in, DJ holla out Cole, send the bottles, holla out Cole, yo, this is Cole, this is Cole, this is Cole, right? Now his identity gave him face and people responded to him as if he was some type of celebrity in our city, right? So the same rule applies. Like once you get that light on you, it's what it is. It's
you got to move accordingly. You got to move accordingly, man.
It's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse. So you got to know that people do ignorant. Look at Blueface in this fight. Dude running the ring. He ran in the ring holding his phone in one hand. He knew like I'm doing this because that's Blueface. I was closer to him than Blueface, but he like shit. The draw, the likes is Blueface. So they gonna try him, and I think he's young. He's full of life. He's full of energy, and sometimes he just want to have fun, just normal fun. And I think he's learning that that's a task. It's
you signed up to not
hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think for anybody, right? Like you can't overexpose yourself. Like I think like even me, like I tell my wife, I'm like, she wants to go walk down Melrose. I'm like, listen, sweetheart, like now ain't the time for us to go walk down Melrose with your wedding ring on, because I'm not gonna be.
Yeah, that's real shit.
I'm not gonna
People know.
I'm just not gonna be the like at the end of the day, like
Big Boy. How many places you see Big Boy that's out roaming?
100%. And that's
it ain't gonna. You know what I mean? People know who the fuck.
That's the way I am. I'm like, yo, if I'm not getting paid to DJ, I'm not going to the club.
You cannot know what Big Boy looks like, right? And the minute he opens his mouth,
you know exactly who he is, because he's got.
You could be at McDonald's and not know who this dude is. Who would say, "Yeah, man, give me a Whopper."
Hello.
Hey, man, don't you?
Yeah.
Dude get all excited. Big Boy might be having a bad day. Dude, hey, man, grabs Big Boy by the shoulder. Big Boy throws an elbow. Yep. Next thing you know, Big Boy assaults, attacks the dude at McDonald's.
Yeah.
This is why Big Boy ain't gonna go into motherfucking McDonald's. He gonna send somebody else. He gonna go through the drive-through. This is what this is.
There it is. Well, look, we're gonna transition to the other part of the interview, which is an hour and a half long, and there's a lot of game in it. Appreciate you for pulling back up, man.
This is a 100 interview. Y'all tuned in to Bootleg Kev. You know what I mean?
You always have an open mic here, Wack.
Nah, I appreciate it, man. Hey, Kev, you know, people don't realize that you can vouch for this. I think about people when they know I'm not thinking about them. Because it was a few years ago, or out of nowhere, you got a call. Mm-hmm. I'm they setting up the real 92.3, and they going over their DJs. I'm like, yo, y'all need to bring Kev to the city.
I always tell everybody.
You know what I'm saying? I put you right on the phone.
You called me at dinner.
At dinner. We was at dinner.
This was in 2014.
Yeah, we was at dinner.
And I was in Tampa.
Yeah, it was in Tampa.
And Wack hits my line. Hey, I'm with Doc Winter right now at dinner. They're launching the radio. I'm telling him you're the guy. And I always tell everybody, yo, Wack really selflessly just threw me the craziest lob.
Watch this. You might hear from Wack every 18 months. I don't do shit because now I'm work this situation. I just generally do shit. I store the people I know, and when I can do something.
That's a big misconception about you, man. Is like I think like I always hear people be like, even when they talk about you and they don't know you, I gotta step in and be like, yo, Wack ain't that guy. Like people really think like you're like a really unreasonable dude, or like, you know, if you do something for them, you're gonna hang them out like on some 6ix9ine shit over a balcony. I'm like, yo, Wack is one of the smartest guys in the music industry.
Correct you on that.
Yeah.
Suge never hung anybody over the balcony.
So Vanilla Ice never got hung over the balcony.
He definitely got hung over the balcony. But see, it's kind of like the kid that got kicked and all the teachers seen was a kid doing the hitting, right? What people don't talk about is that little young black kid, right, who did the production for Ice Baby, who Vanilla Ice said, fuck you, I'm not going to give you $4 or $5 million. People don't want to talk about how he went through every resource he could to get his money. And the shit wasn't right. When he brought it to 6ix9ine, she said, Suge, I'll give you half the money if you can get my money. Suge said, young black brother, I don't want half your money. I just want what's reasonably coming to me. Let me have my attorneys contact them and figure it out. After 8 or 9 months of that not working, then he went through other extremes of getting it done. Now watch this. Is it 6ix9ine's fault that he had to go to that extreme? Or is it Vanilla Ice's fault for totally ignoring it when it was trying to be handled the corporate way?
Fair enough.
So I just got to defend that because I know what's really behind that. It wasn't a thing where Suge came in and he didn't want no fucking verse from Vanilla Ice.
Right.
What the fuck, you know what I'm saying?
And let the record be shown that do not fuck with Wack either. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen the dark side of Wack as well. Personally, me, myself. Yo, listen, Wack, thank you, man. Let's get into the rest of the interview right now. All right, look, man, special edition, the 100th episode of the Bootleg Kev Podcast.
What, I'm honored, man.
Episode 100, we had to do something special and bring my big brother, man, Wack 100 for episode 100.
Yeah, definitely.
Welcome back.
Listen, I'm honored. There's a whole lot of ways you could have went. So, it's an honor to be here.
Yeah, I was like, man, there was a couple people. I was like, man, we got to get Wack back on. Episode 100, it's only right, man.
We're on the West Coast shit. Let's do it the way we supposed to do it.
Welcome back. First of all, how has everything been going with you, man? Because you've been all over every academics post. I mean, shit's been kind of crazy since you did the podcast.
Man, it's always a backlash, when you go against the grain. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So when you're not flowing the way everybody else is flowing, you're going to get that backlash. Now the question is, can you stand? You got to be able to stand the rain.
Can you withstand that shit?
Can you withstand the rain? A lot of people cliquish, you know what I mean? And they caught up in, who going to continue to talk to them, who not, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, a lot of people that I know and do business with, it's been long-term relationships, and they call me and express what they don't like, but the brotherhood and the comrade shit is too deep. I even got some that won't call me. When they get over being mad, then they'll call me and they'll tell me what it was. But other than that, man, you got to be able to stand, and you got to be your own boss, and you got to know your own route. You know what I mean? You got to know what you're doing with it. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. People sit back, and because they don't know what you're doing, assumption when it comes to the to the human mind they're gonna always assume the worst. So, you know, since then I think I'm Tekashi signed to me, 6ix9ine is managed by me. Shit. I didn't put him on my neighborhood. You know, they come up with all kind of crazy ass shit. But you know, you gotta let them run wild with it if you understand the entertainment business, because that's the clickbait. That's what keep people talking about you. And hopefully you can put something in front of the people, right, to further the conversation. Wack did this. Oh yeah, and this is coming out or this is going on. So you gotta know how to finesse it, you gotta know how to work it.
Well, I think like we did an interview probably like 4 or 5 months ago, and in that interview, you had said you did not feel like 6ix9ine was a snitch. He was a civilian.
Yeah, definitely.
So you said that way before you had even had any contact with this dude, way before Rolling Loud Weekend happened.
I think the misconception of that is people saying like, well, he was doing what he was doing, you know, with the people he was doing it with. And my whole thing is like, those people should have never even had him involved in those things. You know what I mean? It starts with me from the beginning. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna take a hot rod race car and go cross country.
Right.
I know somewhere in there, you know, that ain't built for that. It's gonna blow up. I'm gonna take something that's standard stock, the Cadillac, the Range Rover, some shit that's built for that to take that cross country. But then I'm not gonna take my Cadillac or my Range Rover, my Honda, and try to do compete in a quarter mile.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like my whole way of seeing it is, yeah, I see what happened and what went on, but you know, I knew that goddamn hot rod was gonna blow up before I got to Arizona.
Right.
Motherfucker gets 3 miles to the gallon, it's running lean, it's running hot, and I'm trying to go cross country, and I'm trying to do 80 on the freeway. It's gonna blow up.
It's gonna overheat. Yeah.
It's gonna overheat. So I felt like, you know, I understand why they did it. You know what I mean? You had a few people that was trying to figure out the music industry. You know what I mean? And you know, we're dealing with artists, bro. You got to know how to move them. You got to know how to finesse them, and you got to know how to bow down to them and let them be the boss and be the employee to them. You know what I mean? It's a tricky game. So, you know, I've always seen the kid day one as like it was a gimmick. It's a lot of artists that's a gimmick. A lot of dudes running around with tattoos on their faces and walking a certain way. They just got real dudes around them. And the real dudes around them gives them the persona that they're that.
So a lot of people might, I mean, I think the argument is like he put hits on people's heads, right? He put money on people's heads. He paid people to shoot at people, etc. And I think the argument is, once you do something like that, you're a criminal technically, right? Like you've signed off on that lifestyle.
Definitely.
So what do you know?
You ever watch Blow?
Of course, I love Blow.
Dude was moving more goddamn cocaine than the law allowed, right? But deep down inside, who was he?
I mean, yeah, he was just a normal dude.
Okay. When the heat came, what did the normal dude do?
What he's supposed to do. Right.
Now, if I was the guy playing Blow, right, unfortunately, I'm subject to other politics. And I've been in these situations. I've been charged with murders that I know I didn't commit. And all I can say is I plead the fifth. See you in court. My homeboys is sitting there. The people that know what, they know the details behind it. They didn't jump up and say, oh, no, it wasn't him, it was me. And you know what? They did what they supposed to do. They supposed to be quiet, right? This is a better situation if they pinning the body on somebody that we all know didn't do it. I got a better chance of beating than them, right? But I'm going to sit down. I'm going to spend some money. But this what come with it. I'm born and bred and I'm into this shit. I'm initiated into this, right? And everybody, no matter what, bro, me and you right now could go to the Marines training camp. That don't necessarily mean we're going to become a Marine. You have to pass things and go through stages of things for them to say, you are now that. They can't just say, oh, we're here for Marine. All right, put him on the chopper, send his ass to Afghanistan.
He might have a gun in his hand. He might bust some shots in the right direction.
We
but
might
that don't
get
mean
out there, my nigga, and detonate the whole motherfucking battalion because we don't know what we doing with this grenade. We don't know how to move. So, you know, no matter what they tried to paint him to be, right? You give a 12-year-old the keys to a Lamborghini, he gonna get in that motherfucker, man. and he ain't gonna drive it like a Lamborghini. Shit, I can drive this. I barely know how to drive, fuck. But I know how to drive by my school. Might run up on the curb, run into some shit. Ain't no telling what he gonna do when he come back. You gonna say, yo, you drove the Lamborghini like this? He didn't see it. It was a kid that was driving a car. That's all he seen that wasn't supposed to be driving. So you tell him, a dude like this, we gonna do whatever you tell us to do. He's already intrigued by the streets.
Right.
Brought him, right?
Right.
So in his head, he like, one side of him is like, damn, I can tell them what to do. The other side is, I'm a collie cocking. Fuck it. Okay. Do this. Oh, shit. Do that. Oh, shit. So then you got people saying, well, because he was telling them these things, that makes him that. Nah, no, it don't.
So let's get a few of the misconceptions out the way. Obviously, you're not getting any money with 6ix9ine outside of maybe a fight with Blueface. If that happens,
I got a fight with Blueface set up with him.
So that's gonna happen.
And that's the whole thing, right? Is that to me, right? The streets and the music industry, they're not the same. People in the music industry talk about the streets. If that dude that was doing the talking about the streets really did those things, his ass would be in the penitentiary, be incriminating himself, right?
Because most of the people who are actually doing that, as you've seen over the last couple of years, they got RICO charges.
Quick.
I mean, Pooh Shicey's sitting down right now. One of the hottest rappers in the world. You know
shout out to nephew too. Good dude, good youngster, man. Send my respects to his father and his family. But so I've never personally seen the execs on the 50th floor say, listen, today we're gonna determine if Lil D-Dog get put on the hood. I've never seen that conversation on the 50th floor, right? And I've also seen them say, you too dirty in them streets to come to the 50th floor, right? So street business and street politics is just that, right? That's what it is. You catch me trying to take 6ix9ine to somebody's neighborhood, shoot a video, some crazy shit like that, I'm in total violation, right? I would never even bring my homeboys who will follow me into the fire around that, because that's not their thing. They not part of the business. They'd be there with me, right? So whatever it is I did choose to do with them, that's why wasn't nobody with me with my wife and kids, which I said day one, my daughter's a fan. That's what that is. She don't give a shit about none of that.
Of course.
Right? But if I got an attorney on the 50th floor and he got my email and I got his email and there's email attached to him and the attorney says, hey, I see this is available, just something that he may want to do, and my attorney's talking to me and this business, I'm definitely going to conduct that business. I'm not the guy to say, fuck 6ix9ine, I want to see him starve to death, I want to see him die today and never make another dime. I can say that. That's not realistic. What he represents to his fans is bigger than me. I'm not his fan base. So what's driving his revenue is going to continue to drive his revenue, whether what we think about it or not. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm a businessman, right? I've done business with Jewish people, gay people, Crips. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've done business with all kind of shit that may not like me. One of my head plumbers who gave me a 20% discount was a Nazi type dude. I could tell. I had the big beard, real redneck dude. Right. But that was who he was. It had nothing to do with the service I needed. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always been the wolf in my world, bro, since a kid. You know what I mean? If I see it my way and I see a different way or a different lane, I'm gonna follow my lane. If I crash and burn following my lane, right, I can live with that. But if I crash and burn or starve to death following somebody else's lane, I can't live with that.
That's fair. So let me ask you this, because I think everyone respects you and your acumen as a businessman in the music industry, right? I think you're one of the most brilliant minds in the game. I always say there's a lot of misconceptions about you as a person.
Yeah.
Would you obviously you're from Pacoima. You're reputation of the streets speaks for itself, right? At this point in time in your life, do you put the business first or being a Pyru first?
Pyru is first when it comes to Pyru business.
Okay.
Right?
To break that down, because I think some people might look
what
at
it is. Okay, this is what it is. You got some people that's from a neighborhood and they're gonna do what they told to do.
Okay.
No matter what they want to do. Then you got some people who do the dictating on what's being told to do. Some people that politic at the table what's being told to do. My neighborhood hasn't. Those are not my streets, right? That's where I'm from, right? Let's get this right. When they were my streets, I woke up every day. That's where I got my money. That's where I protected the blocks every day.
Yep.
That's where I did my dirt, had my fun, my partying, was right there like a hamster on those streets, right? It's a whole nother team over there that's their streets, right? I don't dictate or override what they choose to do. Those streets are being managed totally different today than they were in my heyday.
Right.
Right? Things have changed, you know. We glorified selling dope, getting the money. A lot of them glorified how much dope they use a day. You know, who am I to judge? That's their thing. You know what I'm saying? We sagged our pants down our fucking ankles. They just wear them tighter. You know, that's their thing, right? So, Pyru business is just that. 6ix9ine never mixes with that. He shouldn't have been mixed with that in the beginning when they was doing what they was doing out there. That shouldn't have never happened. I took offense to him running around with the rainbow hair and the red bandana. That's something that I would never practice. Something
you would have never co-signed if it was someone coming out of LA.
Wouldn't have happened. Right. It's not gonna happen. Either you that or you not. You know what I'm saying? My family business is just that. My business is just that. I mean, because if I was on some real Pyru street shit, I wouldn't have signed Blueface.
Fair enough, right?
There's real politics behind me signing Blueface is deeper than people know. Outside of Crip and Blood shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, that maybe some of them don't know, a few of mine don't know, right? So if I was like on some, if Pyru dictated my
everything
business,
you did in life on the music side, then you wouldn't even be fucking with Blueface.
It can't happen. I mean, end of the day, Snoop Dogg wouldn't have been at Death Row, nor would Daz or Corrupt or Nate Dogg.
Fair enough.
But we all run around there with the Death Row shirts, and that shit was built on the talents and skills of Cripism and the business of a
politics
Pyru.
of some Pyru shit. Yeah. So, we've established that, right? So, you know, obviously, with the 6ix9ine thing, I feel like there's we had Glasses Malone up here, right? And Glasses spoke. Glasses did not speak towards you in any sort of funny way, right?
Glasses gonna totally disagree with what I'm doing.
1,000,000%.
That's my nephew. I know what he's gonna do.
Glasses like, I think
he's gonna see it. You gotta understand. Glasses look at me like, nigga, that's one of our West Coast generals, right? But it's not the general that's conducting that business. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like, I'm not Wack from Pyru when I'm being dad to my kids.
And you're not Wack from Pyru when you're running 100 Entertainment and
no, definitely not.
And looking for new talent.
Listen, I caught so much flack behind Blueface, the famous Crip who had a song out called Respect My Crippin'.
Right.
Right? Now, if I would allow
all that,
those powers to be to dictate my business, see, it's a reason why I transitioned out of doing business in the streets of doing business in the building. I realized a long time it's only profitable for so long. You get a 2-year run, 18-month run, 5-year run. You know what I mean? Look at BMF for one. You know, these dudes is making a lot of money. But, you know, they've been gone,
20 years almost.
You know what I'm
15,
saying?
20 years.
Right, so it's kind of like, you know, I feel like slow and steady wins the race with me. You know what I mean? The more longevity you had at doing something, the more successful chance of being successful at it. You know what I mean? So I don't expect everybody. Glasses says he's just moving into the lane of being an exec. You know, he got an artist or two now.
Right.
You know, he came to see me, you know what I mean, a couple weeks ago to figure out a few things, right? He's moving into that. And he's going to cross those thresholds where it comes to some things that, you know, he wasn't supposed to. Mac 10, believe it or not, caught some flack over signing G Malone.
I don't doubt that.
He Inglewood blood, Queen Street.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of rappers in Inglewood. Like, hold on, man, you could have did that.
Well,
for the
G he equated 6ix9ine to being worse than Hitler. He said he is an evil, demonic man who's worse than Hitler.
I wouldn't say he's worse than Hitler because the casualty between the Holocaust and
I'm just saying what he said.
The 89 individuals who's laying down. And a lot of people got to understand. I kind of did a little research on a few things, and I ain't justifying nothing that 6ix9ine did.
And I think, I think people think that you are, but if you actually watch the interview to academics, you didn't justify anything.
I'm not justifying nothing he did. I was really trying to really get him to understand what he wasn't, what he never been. When it came to that. But I think there is a slight misconception, right? 6ix9ine did not send anybody to prison. He didn't send nobody to prison. What he did was save himself from going to prison, right? Because everybody already was indicted.
They were all a part of the same RICO case.
They were all indicted already. 90% of them, if you really go read their paperwork, right, was violating the street code, fucking around on their phone, saying things on their phone, doing things on their phone they weren't supposed to do. So whether 6ix9ine did what he did or not, they were still going to the penitentiary, right? So it wasn't like they arrested him and then they didn't know about everybody else. Then he like, nah, this dude, and they released him and he wore a wiretap to line this dude up. All y'all had y'all warrants, all y'all got pretty much arrested by the same time. You know what I mean? When he went on the Breakfast Club, they all knew it was coming. He was trying to
you could tell the way he was talking.
Trying to disassociate himself.
He knew it was coming.
But it was already too late. You know what I mean? I think they only went and picked everybody up because the wiretaps, he had something going on in Connecticut, and they heard on the wiretap that they was gonna push up on him in Connecticut. That's when they like, okay, we're not gonna jeopardize this. It's time to pick everybody up, right? So they was going regardless, right? Rather, this man, he could have went in there and kept it gangster and said, fuck that, I ain't saying nothing. He would have just been in there with him. Nobody was getting out, right? Everybody pretty much lined themselves up on the
wiretaps.
On the wiretaps.
And we've heard some of the leaked conversations.
Yeah, and some of those wiretaps, were not in favor of 6ix9ine. It was some of those cases they got, it was crimes that committed against him. So, whatever they had coming, it was coming to them anyway based upon whatever they was doing. Right?
The evidence they already had.
Yeah, right. So at the end of the day, they was going anyway. They was running a fucked up ship. It was a sinking ship. And that's what it was. What he did was what I expected the guy from Blow to do. He turned back to who he really was. Straight up. And that's why my people that's around me, right? Those people that went to the military and got trained, guess what? They kidnapped them motherfuckers and they sitting there torturing them motherfuckers what they trained to do. Say they motherfucking name and they rank and they number. That's it. Now you take a motherfucker that ain't been trained for that and skilled for that. That's why some people are just this. Some people Navy SEAL, some people Green Beret, right? It's a different thing. They not gonna send the desk dude to send the Marines out to do the Green Beret job.
Right.
Because they know if he get caught,
he's going.
Oh yeah, the office over here and the such and such is over here and the general's over here, right? So they send the Green Beret dudes in there because that's a different type of training versus physically, mentally, and psychologically, right? Because if they get caught, they train to die with it, die about it. There's nothing about Tekashi
that tells you that he's gonna be able to withstand that pressure.
It's not gonna happen. The pressure's strong. I even had some real gangsters. Crack. I tell people what a dude is willing to accept at 25, he may not be willing to accept at 45. Motherfucker go find out where they Aunt Mabel live in backwoods Alabama quick. Man, we got 30 years for you, man. Shit. Fuck it. Woo.
Disappear.
Gone. Because he'd rather deal with it like that free than sit in that penitentiary for keeping it real while he watch others go fuck his baby mama.
Yeah, the baby mama's moving on.
You know what I'm saying? Go hit his spot.
Someone else.
This is just real shit, right?
Someone else going to end up raising his kids.
That's what happens. So And I tell people this. This is why, a lot of my soldiers, right, the older they get, the less involved I make sure they are when it comes to that kind of thing.
Right.
I try to move them into being professional businessmen. Not to say that they're crack, but I don't want to even put them in a position or a situation where they got to even think about
Where they even got to think about that.
Yeah, period. I mean, I understand it.
Because at the end of the day, you don't ever want to, I feel like when you get yourself involved in that, it's not probably out of choice. It's out of environment. It's out of necessity. And the goal is
having fun with something that's not fun.
What I'm saying is, like, the goal is, though, like, obviously the goal would be to evolve and get out of that eventually, right?
Bro, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, my goal for the last 3 years has been to not even be on the West Coast at least 3 to 4 months out of the year.
And you'll be in China working on shit. You'll be all over the place.
Home, I'm bi-coastal. I live on the East Coast when I want to, right? So now my goal is I only want to be here 6 months out the year. I want to spend 2 months overseas conducting business. You know what I mean? And then I can spend another month vacation and another 3 months just other places where I need to be. I don't want to run the hood. I want to position myself to come back and control the hood by means of real estate, businesses. My ultimate goal,
guidance.
My ultimate goal is to come back and buy my projects.
That's big.
That's been a goal of mine, is to come back and actually purchase my projects. And I can't get that done in the hood because whatever I can do in the hood or would have to do in the hood is going to hinder me from having the proper documents, paperwork, and cash flow to go do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got to come back a business. I got to come back a mogul to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm not knocking. What I want to be is to those in my neighborhood who not being brainwashed by those that's my age and older than me and salty and mad because they didn't find their way out. Say, look, we know this dude was this, did time, put in work, did all the crazy shit and all that, and he was able to turn it around and do that. I got a GED from Central Juvenile Hall. If I'm able to do it, it ain't nobody in my neighborhood that's not able to do it.
Right.
I didn't. My 100% of my success is not music, and I don't think my biggest success is gonna be music, because really, I look down on myself for doing what I do in music because I'm still dependent on another man. I wake up and one of my artists and did some crazy shit, this shit, it affects the business. Me and you can't just birth an artist overnight. You got to start back over and rebuild. And any businessman know at that point in time, the revenue gonna change, so you got to downsize and you got to do things a little different. That's where the diaper company comes from, me challenging myself to do something outside of this that can create another type of wealth.
And then you're only depending on yourself and your team, as opposed to, because
then it's on me.
Artists are they're variables, right? You're dealing with artists. Maybe they have a bad day. Maybe a
lot of my real business partners, is like people from the NAACP. People that run financial institutions. Right. 80% of my time on the phone is with them.
Right.
I'm not talking to the homies. That's a text. You straight, you good, great. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, that's what that is.
Hey, what up, man? We got to interrupt the interview real quick to tell you about our family at Odd Socks. Now, when I be riding for Odd Socks so hard, man, it's because I really love the product. They got the most comfortable socks in the fucking world. I got a pair of Odd Socks Basics on right now. Go get those. They got the socks, WWE joints, you know what I'm saying? Shout to the Undertaker, Pepsi, motherfucking, really whatever you need. Some weed socks, Nickelodeon, but really, they got the draws now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm holding a pair of Tapatio underwear right now. You want some Pop-Tarts on your dick? Pop-Tart draws. And these motherfuckers are so comfortable. Like, man. So listen, you got to go to oddsocksofficial.com and use the promo code, the discount code Bootleg Kev at oddsocksofficial.com. You'll save 20% off underwear, the most comfortable socks in the world. Crazy licenses. Not only they got the WWE, they got the Scarface, they got the Street Fighter, they got the Nickelodeon, they got it all. So make sure you hit that website, oddsocksofficial.com. Save 20% off with the promo code Bootleg Kev. All right? Go do that. Shout out to Odd Socks. Let's get back to the interview. Let me ask you this, Wack. I think people, first of all, I love when you share your thoughts online because I feel like they're genuine.
Yeah.
And you're very, very like, you know, like you said, you don't go
say the shit people think I'm scared to say.
So, so let me ask you this, right? Why there's people who will be like, yo, why is Wack online so much? Like you'll be on Clubhouse going crazy on Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, shout out to my nephew Rocky.
Right.
Wood family, 92nd Street, as he would say.
So
he had a room.
No, so just give me like.
No way, I'm gonna give it to you.
Go ahead. Okay.
My little homeboy had a room, right? And he like, man, I'm trying to get my room popping, right? So I'm like, all right. I had to understand Clubhouse. I didn't really know what the shit was. I'm coming to see what it is. I'm like, all right, cool. So when I did the 6ix9ine interview, right? I tell nephew, listen, why don't you go on vacation for a minute and put me with the people so I can set up the room. He like, what you mean? I said, I need you to go on vacation because he a young nigga. He a real blood. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He don't mix with that shit. He just in the room as Rocky from Inglewood family. Mm-hmm. So by the time he spent off and do what he do, I come in and bring the kid in to host the room. Mm-hmm. His room go from 13,000 to 30,000 overnight. Right? I don't come in and say, give me half of the room. I want to own the room. Right? I passed the room back to nephew. He had some things to say to me. Mm-hmm. He like, damn, Mark, you could have told me what you was going to do, man. I might not have been with it. I said, listen, you see where your room is at, right? Yeah, I took the hit. I'm going to have to take the backlash for it. I take that room and go generate you some revenue. Right? He loved me today for it. He didn't agree. Mm-hmm. Right? But, you know, and then Clubhouse is a fun space when you're bored and ain't got nothing to do. You been and went to sleep early in the day, 6 o'clock, got up at 6 to midnight, you get up, everybody else sleep, they up on Clubhouse. Right. You know
Clubhouse I mean? is I also feel like you low-key kind of resurrected Clubhouse. Because I
definitely did. That's what they told me.
Bro, I'm like, I didn't even know people were still on Clubhouse until I'm like, yo, Wack's going crazy. Let me I reinstalled the app.
Yeah.
I literally, but let me ask you this, right? So like, the 6ix9ine thing happens and so much fallout as far as relationships with you and artists who people might perceive you to be close with. Like obviously there was a Jim Jones French shoot that you pulled up to last year. And then the Jim Jones thing happens where, you know.
Well, you know, I got the blame for something that had nothing to do with me because they say I provided the platform for
him.
For 6ix9ine to say what he said, right? But I'm gonna keep it gangster. I don't harbor fugitives. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of people that I grew up with, knew 15, 20, 30 years, and then, you know, somebody slid me some paperwork. You know what I'm saying? And based upon what I'm reading and what I'm seeing, not to say I've seen paperwork on Jim, I just heard the recordings and me understanding the law. I'm a little confused and one-sided with that because I know what that is. You know what I'm saying? So,
and you didn't necessarily bring up your skepticism about that situation until there was static brought to you.
Yeah, well, you know, he had wanted to bring it up during the interview, but I didn't know nothing about what he was talking about. I'm like, yo, you can't talk about Jim doing his interview because
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't defend him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So he was so adamant about wanting to show me what he was talking about. It's scared. I did some buster shit because I was good with Jim at the time, right? And I didn't even let him show it to me. Because if he showed me something that's real, then I gotta let him talk about it, right? So I didn't want that to happen on that, right? So that's why if you look at that, like that never came up
in that interview,
right? He tried to show me something on Casanova, right, which he had on his phone. So me and Casanova relationship is kind of like we see each other one day it's cool, another day we may not say nothing to each other, and I know he in the situation he in, and I don't like to kick no man when they down, so I didn't even entertain what he was trying to show me because Casanova ain't here to defend himself. So that's why I didn't allow that to be talked about. You know what I mean? You know, so it's kind of like, I don't know where me and Casanova at. You know what I mean? I think we both respect each other as men, but then we got our little issues with each other about whatever it may be. Right? So that's why I didn't allow that to happen. But, you know, when they come on Clubhouse, and, you know, he was on, I got tired of people asking me about, yo, 6ix9ine is. So you know what? I'm going to bring him on there. Y'all ask him. And what shocked the shit out of me is the people that would come super aggressive at me about 6ix9ine questions on Clubhouse. Man, well, you're 6ix9ine, sir. Excuse me, man.
They didn't have the same energy.
Asking,
yeah,
fuck me up.
Right.
Now, I'm one person, bro. I'm one person. and I'm going to defend myself when I say about giving him a platform, right? I want everybody to see this. If you people really felt the way you feel about this individual, right, it should have said, Wack 100 invites 6ix9ine to Clubhouse, only 8 people showed up. It should not say that damn near 14,000 people came through there, to a point that the Clubhouse staff, they fucking expanding their bandwidth because there's 7,000-8,000 people coming in there at a time and another 4,000-5,000 people waiting to get in there. I didn't give him the platform. The people that came in there to hear that man speak gave him the platform. Right? If it's that bad with him, why support him? The venue should be empty, right? We've all seen an empty venue.
So I think people might be like, why? You did the interview. Obviously, there's the Blueface fight. Is that going to happen?
Definitely going to happen. I'm about 6.5 million away from the number I need, which is easy. Once you get the money going, it's easier to pull other people in.
We'll get to the fight and all that, but then people might say, okay, well, look, we get it. You did, but why continue to kind of bring him into your world? Like,
well, he's not in my world.
I don't even say in your world. Like, let's say like the clubhouse, like the clubhouse thing.
I've seen him one time.
You've seen him one time
when I did the interview.
How often do you talk to 6ix9ine?
He called me probably about 2-3 times a week.
So would you say at this point in time,
he'd text me or he'd FaceTime me and let me know that, he got something, because his business going on.
Would you say at this point in time you guys are friendly with each other?
Well,
I'm not saying you guys are friends.
I don't have. I'm not looking to do nothing to him. If I was looking to do something to him,
it would have been done.
I wouldn't have never sat down and did the interview. I feel like it ain't my job to do nothing to him. You know what I mean? At one point in time, that used to be the politics. That when it's on like that, when somebody's on like that. But, I come to realize that people selectively politic what they want to do, when they want to do it, and with who they want to do it with. So, unless you my direct comrade, you know what I mean? You my direct comrade. It don't work like that with me. You know what I'm saying? Because I look up all the time and video shoots and all kind of shit and people going live, and I'm like, damn, dude really in there with dude. He was just at the studio. We was having a discussion. But, okay, well, that's the way it's curbed. It's cool.
The selective politicking, I feel like, is definitely something that that did have some merit when 6ix9ine was bringing that up in the interview, because there are, I'm not going to say any names, but there are artists, there are executives that,
definitely.
That are, some of the artists, right? Like some big guys, right? That, all but pretty much you can confirm if probably.
And got down. It's some niggas that used to be Crips, it's Bloods, it's probably some dudes used to be Bloods, it's Crips. It's all kind of shit, and people know about it, but because of whatever's going on with the business, they kind of overlook it.
Well, also too, I think like the reason why people are the 6ix9ine thing was such a huge story. It was like,
it's only a huge story. Let's keep it real. The story was only huge because of his platform, who he is.
Right.
Right? People can say what they want. Anything seen around his name, people go crazy about. Mm-hmm. Y'all give him that power, not me. You know what I'm saying? I can't recite a 6ix9ine verse. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I would have to go to Spotify and see maybe one song I heard mistakenly that I was like, yo, that shit hard as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't front. Shit hard. All right, that's him. All right, I get it. But, at the end of the day is, the people that really have a lot to say about him don't matter. We're not part of his success as an artist. We're not the ones going to his concerts. We're not going to buy his merch. Whether he told or not, right? Yeah. We wouldn't have brought his merch.
Either way.
We ain't streaming his music.
You're not his audience, either way.
We're not his audience, right. So a lot of people that's doing a lot of talking, it really don't matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're kind of wasting your time because his fan base, they don't care.
Do you feel like...
You see his engagement? The boy put up some bullshit on Instagram.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Shit, 15 million.
Do you feel like... Do you feel like doing that interview, did it cost you anything?
I'm pretty sure it cost me a few friends. I'm really not bothered by a lot of people because I'm really a loner type dude. My close friends have called me and got on me. I think the one that then got on me the most, right, is Birdman. Yeah, I'm a dude to keep it 100. Ain't nobody bigger than the politics. That's my brother, and we get on each other. But Birdman, out of everybody, Birdman had got on my ass, like, on me. He done told me how dissatisfied he is. He said, I love you, you my brother. I ain't never going against you. You know that. We done been in the trenches together. But God damn it, this the way I feel.
What did he say?
No, he just told me. He said who you are and what you stand for and what you represent is greater and bigger than that, right? So, at the end of the day, some people got that lane with me, where they can call me and I'm going to humble myself and I'm going to listen, you know what I'm saying? Because I got that respect for them. They earned that from me, you know what I mean? I got a few of my brothers I ain't heard nothing from, you know what I'm saying? And eventually I hear something from them, or maybe I won't, you know what I mean? But I know what my mission and my goal is, what I'm doing. People going to take it and they're going to paint the perception that they want to paint around it. Right? There's some people that I feel like shit going on with that I feel like others shouldn't fuck with. Right? T.I., for one. Till they figure that out, I ain't with that kind of shit.
Are you talking about the allegations about?
Yeah, straight up. Like
with the women? Yeah,
and then it's going to be interesting to see that what comes of this, you know what I mean? Me personally, I came front, I know T.I. I'm a T.I. fan, I listen to T.I. music.
Right.
I hope he's innocent of this shit.
But
I hope, I really, really hope that he's innocent of that. Right? But it's some things that then went on in this man's life that a lot of people didn't overlook too. Keeping it real. Motherfuckers ain't crazy. There's a lot of motherfuckers been to the feds. Motherfuckers understand that 12 months a day, kick out. You know what I'm saying? And things are done differently these days. So it's like, it's a lot of things that then went on that I look at certain people and say, but I understand it, right? It may be out of genuine love as a brother, it may be some business going on. It may be that they see it different than me, right? And vice versa. So I'm going to understand my side of it too as well. You know what I'm saying?
I think, like you said, like with the selective politic, and there's
a lot of that. At
the end of the day, like
I've done it. I've done it. Like I didn't have some of my artists do some shit they dead wrong on. They my artists. What the fuck?
What's an example of something like that happening?
It's kind of do. Blueface, right? I've got calls in his videos to where his homeboys was disrespecting with hand signs, right? I got 30, 40-year history with some of these neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? They do shit so fast these days, I didn't catch it. You know what I mean? I'm paying attention to the artist.
To the music, to the
I'm
visual.
Paying attention to what he's saying and what
yeah.
he's doing. I really ain't catching, what everybody else is doing.
Right.
But they like, hey, Wack, that's your artist on your watch, your fucking video, you putting it out, and it's this and it's this and it's that, right? Fuck dude. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I can't. Ain't no fuck dude.
Right.
Because, outside of me doing business with this man, I've learned to love this man genuinely.
Well, I feel like you and your wife kind of took him in as like your own, man. Like,
he has a mother. He has a very loving mother.
No, I just mean just in terms of like,
family,
yeah. I remember when we first met him, your wife was telling us how like you guys were helping him just get situated with his first home purchase at the time.
No, his home purchase, his credit, his life insurance, his medical, his dental, everything. And I believe that young man is going to grow to be something great outside of music because he got a great mind. And he's
a good kid, man.
Yeah, he's young. So he's still right now, he tell you, irritate the fuck out of me, some shit he do.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure he know when he see that phone ring at 1 a.m, 10,
he's like,
what I'm saying? He already know, but
yeah.
I think he know that ain't to control him. That I want to see him better. I want to see him be here. You know what I'm saying? Because the little young man here, he got the heart of a lion and he ain't scared of nothing. But some things I'm telling him, the bigger you get, you know what I mean? The less leeway you had to make mistakes. You know what I mean? Because he gonna be great. He gonna be greater than what he's doing in music one day. He's a businessman. His restaurant, that's something he set out and did. I didn't even know he was doing it till he told me he had it.
Fire.
Set out and did and put it together. You know what I mean? So that let me know he a young boss, and I'm gonna respect him as that. But because of my relationship and my bond with him, right? Yeah, I probably, when it came to this Crip and Blood thing, I was probably supposed to be a little more assertive or aggressive with what my people was calling me about.
Right.
But the selective politicking, because who he was to me, I probably dealt with it a little watered down.
Then you would have, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and with this gang culture we got, man, there's so many of us out here that's, you know, we Crips and we got Bloods, it's our brothers and families. And we Bloods and we got Crips, that's our relatives. And people we did time with. All of us got some type of hatred and then some type of love and respect for the same side, for the same enemy. You know what I mean? So it's a little different.
What did you and 21 Savage ever have any dialogue after the very loud back and forth where you were pretty much like, look, it's on site.
I'm glad you brought that up because I wasn't thinking about it. Like Birdman been on my ass about 21 Savage, almost to a point where I'm damn near jealous, man. He ain't Wack, that's family, man. Savage family, man. You a G. So what if he stepped out of line a little bit? You know he family. You didn't told me you fuck with him. I told you I love the little nigga to death. You supposed to swallow that and dealt with that different. Like he another one Birdman had been on my ass about. But me and Savage spoke the same day after the fact. I think what it was somebody had already told me Savage had a distaste for something I did. And I wasn't tripping, so when they pinged him to the room, they told me he was down there. I'm like, yo, bring him up. So I'm under the impression, I'm just gonna ask him, yo, Savage, what's the issue? He gonna tell me, and we're gonna have a conversation, because we both had a mutual respect for one another.
Right.
But he kind of told me somebody had fed him some other shit. You know what I mean? To where when he came into the room, he was already on charge because he was thinking something totally different. So, you know, so which triggered him off. Little nigga, little gangster, he ain't no little punk. So, you know, he figured if somebody saying this or saying these things about him, he coming in the room, he dealing with the shit head on. Right? I get it and understand it now. So we had a conversation in one of his rooms. I mean, where we chopped it up. People was in the room.
This was after the very loud, the one that then went viral.
It might have been a couple hours later. You know.
Well, because listen, for people who don't know you have, when you are activated.
No, listen, I am like you know, I this businessman, father.
But when your fuse is gone.
Yeah, I mean, I know how to do that.
Right.
Doing that is more common for me and more natural to me than being this other dude. You know what I'm saying? And no matter, you know, with age, it don't do nothing but make you a more grouchy dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it does. Yeah. So, you know, when it happened, because of who it was, I think I did great, and that was probably due to my wife. I do telling me that I need to learn how to, you know, deal with my anger and not snap and have a short fuse. That's why I kind of like was trying to deal with it, but he just kept coming. And then, you know, it's always this little man on my shoulder. I can't get rid of this motherfucker, man. He always trying to tell me and remind me of some shit I should be mad at and how I should be reacting. You know, when I'm trying to keep a focused mind, like this dude don't go nowhere. I want to get rid of him, but then again I don't, because he's kept me alive. Back, don't go down that block. You know what you got to do. Get off. Handle your business. Get up out of there. Right? He's part of my instincts. You know what I mean? So that's why when I did talk to Savage a couple hours later, he came out and said, "Listen, man, you know, I thought this and thought that. So the way I came, I might have came wrong." And I knew for him to say that after I approached him the way I did and we approached each other, I knew it was genuine. And it was some grown man shit. And he really was outclassing me at that point in time for me to keep tripping. So I had to hear him out. So we verbally talked and verbally was cordial for like another 20, 30 minutes towards each other.
Let me ask you this, right? Because I know that you had kind of, you know, you've obviously evolved as a man, right?
Yeah.
From being in your younger days.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that there's an argument that someone like maybe Meek Mill, who you know, I know that, you know, you had kind of said like, look, once you state that this is what it is, then when you're presented with the opportunity, you got to you got to keep that energy.
I'm gonna be real with you, right? I think something gonna come good out of the Meek Mill situation.
What do you mean?
Because I don't think he's gonna ever do that again.
Essentially, he's never going to step out online again because
I don't think he's ever gonna voice what he's gonna do when he sees somebody, right? I think he's gonna handle that differently. I think if that's his thoughts, he might keep that to himself. If he gonna do it, he gonna do it. But I think he's gonna put himself in a position to where the light ain't on him to do it.
Well, that's what I was gonna say about like
if I wouldn't have said nothing, nobody was gonna say nothing. It was gonna let it ride.
What I was gonna say about the 21 Savage thing is like obviously even if he saw 6ix9ine at the club, like
he did know he did not.
But I'm saying like hypothetically, you know, he's got
it wasn't his. Well, see, 6ix9ine had all kind of shit that he was saying Savage or said or did. So that was his whole thing. His whole thing is if you one of those dudes saying you're going to do something to me, he don't care about you saying fuck 6ix9ine, you a rat. He don't give a fuck about that. But if you one of them dudes that's saying
when I see you, it's on.
Then he sees you.
And nothing happens.
That's his whole
Yeah, I would hope 21 Savage wouldn't risk his freedom, his career, just because, you know.
Well, I mean, I defended 21 in the interview.
In the interview, you did.
Because I was like, just because y'all in the same building.
That doesn't mean he saw you.
Doesn't mean he saw you. And then at the same token, he ain't the one got the real direct beef with you. So why the fuck should
he put his on the line? Why would he put his shit on the line?
On the line? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? So I said, let's listen. If he did say or do these things, because I hadn't heard it or seen it personally, then I feel where you coming from. And I think that's what Savage had a problem with. You know what I mean? But once we talked and he kind of, you know, he got it. Like I got where he was coming from. I don't expect 21 to be the one to, not at all.
Have you given 6ix9ine any off-camera, off-clubhouse advice? Because I feel like...
I told him he should stop disrespecting the dead. You know what I'm saying? I told him that you done made enough enemies once you give some of that attention to your fans. I don't think that you need to be so controversial on the negative side to bring attention to your music. I think it's, I've seen him do things, you know, like over the years when I didn't even know who he was. You know, I've seen him like go and visit kids, you know what I mean, that's on their last leg of living and stuff like that. So I just felt like, you know, if you're going to do something, man, focus on your music and do some positive things, man. You know, your fans, let your fans love you. People that's going to hate you, they going to hate you. You done what you did. There's no sense in antagonizing them anymore, you know, especially the Lil Durk shit. You know, I like Lil Durk.
Yeah, the Durk shit, I feel like he's out of pocket.
No, I like Lil Durk, you know what I mean? So, you know, I think Lil Durk had made a verse or something on some Drake song, you know, I don't know, or some shit, but so what? It's a verse, you know what I mean? What the fuck? You know what I mean? I like Lil Durk, you know what I mean? So, you know, anybody tied to Lil Durk, you know, he need to refrain from saying the things he been saying. You know, this what I told him, you know what I mean? So whether he does it, looked to me like he might be doing it, but you never know.
So, I mean,
6ix9ine's his own man. When he gonna,
I think advertising, I'm moving around with no security now. Probably not the smartest idea.
Yeah, I think his whole thing was that is because, I hate to say it, he really trying to expose the streets. Because the streets is painting the picture of those in the streets that's saying what they want to do that I can't do because it is. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, bro, stop lying. I'm not moving like that. I'm right here. So that was his way of kind of like exposing.
Do you think instead of really exposing the streets, he really just exposed the perception of what hip hop fans think is the streets, right? Because we look at our favorite artists and we think, yo, that's the streets. A lot of fans think that.
I seen Rick Ross. I was on Instagram and Rick Ross he was interviewing. It might have been Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And they asked Rick Ross about the Drake Kanye thing.
Yeah.
He said, man, them dudes got too much money. I think I want to see them do a song together. Ross thing. They got too much money. They having fun with it.
Right.
Right. But you know, to the fans, you know, they eating that shit up. You know, they think Drake gonna come for some gangsters from the 6,
right? And
Kanye gonna come for some
GDs,
some shit from Chicago. But that's not gonna happen. These dudes can control. they always know when
Kanye's a billionaire.
One of the others gonna be in the build where they at, and their situation says they can be in the build. That's gonna be their section. That's gonna be their section. You know what I mean? So, I hate to say it, but the world we live in, social media, they crave negativity. You put up something, you doing something positive, whatever. I feel like what's the brother? Trey the Truth should get millions of likes and views.
Of course, man. He's one of the realest. There's so much for his community. For his community.
He got
Relief Gang.
Something Relief Gang.
Yep, Relief Gang with him and Mr. Rogers.
Right. You see, he get his little perks because a lot of people with blue checks might be on there. Mm-hmm. Right. But I think what Trey the Truth deserves the millions of views. I feel like Trey the Truth should have 40 million followers.
Facts.
Right?
Yeah.
But then you go over here to the other dude, right, that got less followers, but he may promote a fight or say, yo, fuck this, fuck that, or this, or that, and that's where all the traffic goes.
Unfortunately, that's the world we live in.
That's what it is. And I understand that. I understand that to be entertainment. See, a lot of these people take this shit too serious and too real.
It's like the news. If you think about the news, the ratings for the news were the highest when Trump was in office.
Straight up.
Because they want the controversy. This dude,
want the controversy. He's gonna say some crazy.
He's gonna say some wild shit every day.
News, CNN, Twitter, Instagram.
And then and whether you're on the left or the right or in the middle, there's a channel for you to go and
there it goes.
Reaffirm what you feel. And
there it goes. A lot of this shit be entertainment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is entertainment because we know we have to entertain. You know what I mean? We know what they want to see, what they don't want to see.
Do you look at yourself as an entertainer now, kind of? Because you're kind of a social media, people.
I think my entertainment kicks in because the things I say and address is borderline with the negativity that might lead to violence. So it's something for them to talk about.
Because I think that you are looked at like, for people who don't even know who the fuck you are, as far as what you do in the industry, people just like there's people who are following you just because they saw some wild shit you might have said.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't maybe respect or understand.
They see me have a fight. I didn't want to have a fucking fight. I'm telling the world, I didn't want to have a fight. I didn't go to the burger stand that day to have a fight. It's a fight that just happened. I didn't fucking record the fight. It's just somebody out there with a goddamn camera, right, recording something, and there it went, right? But that thing got 100, 200,000 goddamn
that was a crazy
views.
And it's not even the first time you've knocked someone out on camera. Shout out to Stitches.
Yeah, listen. I mean, I didn't have a million fights.
Right.
Because they saw it, then that's just what that is, right? But that's what the people want. That's what they crave. I will sit and watch a chick film with my wife because that's my wife.
Right.
Man, put on some shit with them dudes jumping out the helicopter. This shit just got bombed. The drones came in. Look, that's what I want to see, right? That's what excites me. And I think that's just what excites people.
Yeah.
You know, that's why when you see a lot of these rappers, when they become other things and they start shying away from it, you don't hear Jay-Z name unless he didn't drop the verse, a crazy verse, or he didn't brought another company or got another $1 billion check.
Straight up.
You don't hear it nowhere.
What is in your opinion the biggest misconception about the music industry?
I think the misconception of the music industry is that the music industry is actually the streets. I mean, they don't understand that everybody from the streets is in the music industry is to get away from the streets.
So if you're,
it's a figment of your imagination of what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? On some real shit, and I think that's what it is. Don't get it wrong. We still got some of these youngsters. I seen 21 Savage on there with Gilly and Wallow, right?
That's probably my favorite podcast, by the way.
And Gilly, I'm coming for your ass. I heard what you said, Gilly. We're gonna address that. Like, stop ducking me. Set that date, right? So Savage was like, in y'all era, I think a lot of the rappers was bitch ass niggas, right? They did in our era. A lot of these young rappers really come from that. Right, I think Gilly kind of correcting was like, well, the rapper wanted to be the street nigga. Now the street nigga wants to be the rapper.
So tables have turned a bit. Yeah,
back when we was young, the little young rappers pull up, we out there with our money, our jewelry, cars, and grill. They like, yo, I want to be like big such and such, right?
Also, back then, less transparency, right? So back then, it was easier to be a gangster, even if you weren't, because there wasn't social media to kind of pull your card.
Exactly. You really had to be that because people heard about it from shit that really happened. Now you can go do a couple videos, pull up at a certain spots, wear the right thing, be around the right people,
pay off the right,
and you gangster. We seen it happen with 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. Shout out to Uncle Murder. I was listening, you know, I always go to his page every day, listen to the wrap up, things like that. They had a song with him, 6ix9ine, 50, and young man we was talking about earlier, the one that's locked up. Casanova, right? 6ix9ine going crazy. He blood and everything. It's for, you know, all the bullshit went down, right? But you see 6ix9ine with fucking Casanova, fucking Uncle Murder. Uncle Murder one of the realest nigga come out of Brooklyn.
Facts.
Right? 50 Cent. Okay? Shit. What you think that did to that kid's head?
Right.
Right? And now he starts to live this shit mentally. So now his little fans is not these other dudes' fans. Oh, yeah, he gangster. He was with such and such. That was a controlled video. It was a reason why they did that video. It's a different demographics for Murder and 50 and Casanova. You know what I'm saying? And if you look on there, shit got about 35, 40 million streams.
Right.
Versus other songs that don't.
Right.
That's the business of it. You know what I'm saying? And this is at a time where I had a dislike for 6ix9ine when that video happened.
Well, yeah, because at the
Murder
time,
my man.
Yeah.
Game got they back and forth.
Yeah.
Murder my man. Murder tell you never got a call from me talking about why the fuck you doing this video, because I understand that's some business going on the 50th floor. I understood the business part of it. I knew once that was done and over with, Murder was going back to where he going back to. Dude was going back to where he was going back to.
What was Game's thoughts on you doing the 6ix9ine sit down?
He hadn't said nothing to me, which means I haven't. If I get to a point to where he think I went too far,
he'll tell you?
He gonna come knock on my door.
That's happened before?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, he don't give a fuck. He gonna, and look, I'm gonna open the door and he gonna woo. I love you, and he gonna walk away, get in his car and go home. He don't bite his tongue with me one bit.
What was maybe an example you could share where that happened, where Game was like kind of give you an earful on some of the shit you might have said?
What the fuck was I was doing something on social media? Oh, Nipsey.
I was gonna say, it had to have been the Nipsey thing, you'd think, right?
It was Nipsey, but he understood what I was saying.
To be clear, what you said was Nipsey's not a legend.
Nipsey's not a legend in music. Yeah, not in the streets. You know, the streets he from would dictate and determine that. You know what I'm saying? Pretty sure.
And by the way, the night Nipsey died, I think you were in the club and you had the DJ play his music. I remember.
DJ play. I was in Chicago.
Yeah, I remember that.
I had him play his music. Some West Coast shit, like I did that. I stopped the whole club. We was in Chicago. Me and Blueface, and did that. And just so you know, Blueface neighborhood and their neighborhood don't get along. You know, that could have caused a rift. Because I'm in the middle of a Blueface club hosting. I stopped the whole club. And you know, just in, a moment of silence for Nip and let's play his music. And then we went on about our night. But it got to a point to where Game definitely pulled up on me.
What'd he say?
He said, bro, I understand everything you said. You got your point across. Can you please just not say it no more?
That's
I love
fair.
you, and I'm going on. And he rolled out. You know what I'm saying?
So when that happened, I remember me and Head talking like, damn, there's some shit. Like, we love you, Wack, right? But I'm like, there's just some shit like you could have kept to yourself.
And I think, and you're right, but I think in my life, in my world, as fake as all this shit is, I like to keep it as real as I can.
Like, even if you feel that way, right? And I'm not saying I share your opinion about the Nipsey shit, but even if you feel that way, and not to say, the way you laid out your argument about, look, Ice Cube, Snoop, Dre, all these, why even put it out there?
Well, they asked me a question. And I think the problem with me is I don't know how to run.
Fair enough.
I'm going to keep it real. I think if a person asks me a question and I have a logical answer, and I say, well, Wack, this answer, them people over there ain't gonna like. I'm gonna say, well, why are they not gonna like it? Am I telling a lie? Am I disrespecting anybody? Or is it I shouldn't say it because of how they telling me I shouldn't?
I just think like anytime someone passes,
it's no different than when I come into holding tanks back then in them days. Hey, cuz, where you from? 9 deep. Nigga, this Pyro. Some people that would have said, nowhere. I couldn't run. Whatever came with that, it came with that. And I think that's really what my problem is. And I know how to fix the problem. I'm fixing the problem.
As far as, because I always tell my son.
I'm fixing the problem.
We were talking about our wives earlier, right?
Yeah.
And I always tell my kid, right? My son's 15, and I always say, hey, look, sometimes I just won't. You got to just bite your lip. And in my household, I call it making a business decision with my wife. I'm gonna let you have that W. I'm gonna make the business decision and not say nothing.
Let you win. And you know that's another thing that I gotta work on, because you know I'll be like shit, you know. But women gotta do it too with us. Sometimes you know they can put up a great argument, but depending on how we feeling about it and how we reacting to it, they should know like let that go. Mm-hmm. But I think my way of fixing that problem is Indie Life, which is that mobile app is about ready to launch, to where that's me giving back to the music community, the underground community, which I cater to, these unsigned artists, right, to where now I don't really have to be a visible face of it. I let y'all utilize that, and I'm going to go on with the next chapter of my life to where I done got rid of all the jeans and the Jordans. I might keep a couple of Jordans and wear with a couple of the suits, right? And I'm doing something different to where I'm not even in that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like Jay-Z got a line on 444. You know, I want to be on the floor where ain't no real niggas in the room. Really, that's what I'm targeted.
I think that should be everyone's aspirations, man.
Because if I'm there and you ask me, I'm gonna say something. So I got to remove myself from being so accessible to being in front of that camera.
Did you resolve any sort? Because I know that there was like speculation that you had gotten into a scuffle at, was it Rolling Loud with Nipsey's camp?
Yeah, now watch this.
Yeah.
Watch this, right? I'm in Lancaster, California. Got into a fight with some skinheads, right? Somebody had a camera. Now let me ask you something. You think if Wack had a fight, or Wack got hit the ground, or we was a lockup, we had Rolling Loud, there wouldn't be no footage?
I mean, I obviously
get the fuck out of here.
I'm not even trying to
go. No, this I'm just saying, right?
I'm not even trying to go down like whether that happened or not.
No, this is just real shit.
Right.
But they hate me so much, and they want to see me take a loss so bad that if a motherfucker say it, that's what happened. Right? But even with that, you got to understand, it's a million different stories out there. Oh, he disrespect Nipsey. He say he wasn't from here, or he say he wasn't a legend. He wasn't who he was to where he from. Like, you know, people that took it and twisted it their own way. You know, I challenge anybody to find any footage that says anything different from me addressing music.
Because that was really all you were addressing.
That's it.
And that's obviously it's your opinion.
It's not my place to address where you from. I'm not from where you from. I haven't kept up with the stats over there. You know what I'm saying? We ain't did business like that. We was acquainted. We talked to each other. We had each other's phone numbers. We did some business. I helped him with his early career. You know what I'm saying? Shit like
LAX
that.
Tour.
LA, not only that, K-Slay. I'm the one put him on New York radio. You know what I'm saying? You know, a bunch of shit like that.
That tour, it's crazy because that tour was the first time I ever met Nip was that tour. I was on radio in Boise.
And a lot of people like to take credit for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to take the credit for that. A lot of people like to give Big U the credit for that, but ultimately, I'm going to be real. As cocky as Nipsey was, he had to want to be over there with Game, And as cocky and as strict as Game is with who's out with him on tour, he had to want that to happen. So, you know, that was a relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's why I know Game is real genuine about that. Game did some shit. He did some shit the homies don't like. He took a Lamborghini, wrapped it in blue, put fucking Nipsey down one side, and violated everything Paru stand for, and put Crenshaw down the other side. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no Paru's on Crenshaw. You know what I'm saying? But that's the way he was feeling about his homeboy, his partner. I got a million calls about it. Man, he ain't supposed to, hey, listen, bro, see, that's the difference between street shit
and industry shit.
Some industry shit, some brotherhood shit.
Also, like,
you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna call Game, hey, yo, Game, listen, man, take that off your car.
Well, also, like,
you know,
Game is also another example of someone who's evolved as a human and as a businessman, as a you know.
What he represents, some think that has to be that. And that's really not who he represents himself to be. That's where he's from, that's where he came from and all that. But I think people, it's a lot of people, bro, they stuck on the second chapter and they book of life. Some of us is on our 10th book, 9th chapter. So they stuck on the second chapter. This what it's supposed to be, blood, or this what it's supposed to be, cuz they ain't evolving to writing these chapters and closing that book out and going to the next book and evolving to who they gonna be as a man, as a father, as a businessman, as a homeboy, as a comrade. You know what I mean? They haven't done that. So when we down here on our 10th book, 9th chapter, they still seeing it the way they seen it on their first book, second chapter. Got a 40-year-old, 15-year-old.
That's some real shit.
A nigga 55 by default when you combine the two. But then if you average it out, it's a whole nother, you know what I'm saying? So it's different. And we see it different. And you can't argue with them people because I understand how you seeing it. I totally understand how you seeing it. Because at one point in time, when I was in my first book, second chapter, many, many moons ago, I seen it that way too. But I also see, because I'm on my 10th book, 9th chapter, that you still down there.
That's some real shit, man. That's a bar. Talk about Game. I just went over to his crib like last month. He played me. I know he's got this like playlist that he's gonna put out, but he's also got his album. I don't know. The album is crazy. I heard some crazy. I don't know if we're gonna
NFT it. I got to see which way he want to go with it. You know, when me and Game do our business, we sit down and we bounce ideas around. He listen to me, I listen to him. We sleep on it, and then we text, and then from there, that's just what it's gonna be. And then I take the business and whatever we come up with, and then that's just what it is.
You know what's crazy is like I was even talking to him just about like how somehow he's become underappreciated in the last like 10 years.
Game is the most man. I be seeing so many top 10, top 5, top this and top that. Like, bro, it's very few artists right now that can go in that studio and out rap that man with substance. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like that man still records. When you hear him record, it ain't a fucking solid.
And his discography is untouchable, man.
It's crazy. You know what I mean? Game is still going and do 5, 6 songs, bro, a night. Yeah. No problem.
I think
talking about a man that records 300 songs an album.
I think Game is kind of like an example of someone who just doesn't play the industry bullshit any like you know, like there's you go to a fucking industry event and you'll go to 5 in a month and you'll see the same like artists.
No, he don't play that shit.
He don't play that shit.
He don't care about the awards. He ain't doing none of that shit. Cause he understands the end. Like, bro, that's a bunch of fake shit. Yeah. Oh man, fuck that nigga. Then when you know, man, let's get something and do some work. And then you try to hit him, they ain't answering, or the manager is calling, you know, with some bullshit. So he just like, he deal with who he deal with.
And like this, what I was telling him, I'm like, dude, like when it comes to people who make actual albums, if we're looking at discography against discography, he's like top 5 all time.
All day.
Game don't put out whack albums.
Fuck no, it's not gonna happen.
You could go through the greatest of all time and they got some black eyes on their discography, right? But like Game, when it's a Game album, it's always front to back. You press play, let that bitch ride.
And I think really my main goal is over the next 12 months is to help the underground artists, and definitely I need to my West Coast artists out here. You know, it's a lot of politics and a lot of shit that goes on and they don't have to reach to. So I want to position them so they can win. You know, our voices, you know, the South been in control.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? And they strong down there, and they going to continue to be thriving and still be strong. But, I think that the West could be just as strong and just as thriving. There's nothing wrong with, every region we go to, it's that dominant strength going on. But it's only going to happen if we help these youngsters. A lot of people out here in my position as a CEO, that playing CEO, they got artists up on them, they got movements, they just don't know. So it's kind of on me to help get them there. I got an obligation to take Blueface and help get him to that next level of being a superstar. My up and coming artists, True Car and Coyote, and you know what I mean, and to help them, Flash Gotti become that. They got a movement down there in Compton called Rosecrans. Mm-hmm. We got Mari Ruger. We got Dobie from Westside Paru. Dobie is really standing in there on the business side. You got Mari Ruger. You got Tone. Tone. Then they got another kid. I think he might be from. Forgive me for this. He might be from St. Louis or some World Tour Woo. You might have seen him. He was getting into it with Soulja Boy. He the one said he filmed Soulja Boy.
Yeah.
That's some crazy shit right there. So you got that going on over there. But these is movements that they stay in that pocket because the resources of them having access to these blogs and knowing how to do this and knowing how to do that, you know what I mean? They don't know. But it's there. The talent, the skill is there. If I put something in front of you and you interview this person or you listen to their music in your studio over there, you're like, yo, this dude dope. Then where you been?
Yeah.
Man, I've been over there grinding like 5 years. Damn, no shit.
Why do you think that is though? Because like everyone has to, They don't
want to let nobody in. The people that's in don't want to let nobody in.
But if you really think about like where the music industry exists now, it's here. Like it used to be you could move to New York and make it. You can move, but
you got to think about it, bro. When the powers that be had the voice, they was letting people in. Game. Mm-hmm. Then they did the passing of the torch. Remember?
Was Kendrick and Snoop on,
Q, all that to Kendrick, right? This shit then went to a digital world, a total different world to where I got more of a voice now in this world than people I consider to be my legends because that ain't their world and that ain't their lane.
And you play in that world.
Exactly. So, so now it's a lot of the obligation is on me. So, I got other things that I'm moving on to, but I'm not going to just leave them high and dry. I'm going to make sure I leave something here, a platform here to where it's going to work for them and help them get to where they go to and expedite it a little faster. You know what I mean?
You have a great relationship with P at QC.
That's another dude that I watch. He has motivated me because he helps them youngsters out that gutter. Him, Gucci Mane, I watched them and they made me tell myself, yo, I need to step my game up because they really, really help them youngsters and get them a platform. And I've been to QC studios. I don't know none of these dudes. They just up and coming dudes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But they round, his big artists so they can see how it go. And you know what I mean? And he helping them get money and position them. Look what the evolution of Lil Baby.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't went from the little dude that come to shoot dice with the artists at the studio to in the studio to being one of the hottest in the studio to now he got artists as hot that's under him in the studio to where he got his own label situation. And, he blueprinted off of what he seen P do with him and P supporting him and they supporting each other. So, he's really one of the ones that
I think I look at like what he's doing and like look at what Yo Gotti's doing.
Yo Gotti,
CMG.
well, and Birdman too. Birdman.
Of course.
Bird is certain guys that I see what they doing to where I feel like I got an obligation to step to the plate.
What about, I know you and Top got a great relationship. Obviously, TDE being kind of the closest thing we've had to Death Row since Death Row.
Yeah, definitely. Top Dog's definitely one of my mentors, one of my G homies. I don't say that about everybody. He's definitely somebody that when I'm in a bind or I need to make a decision or I'm kind of at odds about which way I should go with something, he's somebody I call because I definitely respect his opinion. And you see the leadership, and the class he showed with Kendrick, this being Kendrick's last album. You know what I'm saying? If you paying attention, he just then woke up and got back on the gas. You know what I mean? He got
Rayvon,
dope.
beast.
Him and Kendrick and Top and J-Rock and Top came to the studio with True Car and gave me a bank. Rayvon's a beast.
Man, we had him on the show. So Rayvon lived in Arizona for a little bit.
Okay.
So one of my Arizona homies has been managing forever.
Yeah.
So Rayvon came on Me and Head Show like 3 or 4 years ago.
Good dude.
He's a beast.
Funny as hell too. You see the shit he does?
His TikToks are fucking hilarious.
His little his diary.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but see, and to artists, pay attention to Rayvon. Because not only is he a beast, and I want to say nephew from Long Beach.
He's from Long Beach, yeah.
He's from Long Beach, right? And I don't know if he gangbangs or not, because every time I see him, we just have normal conversation.
Yeah.
But he also is not scared to show his sense of humor.
And be himself.
You know what I'm saying? And that sense of humor was translating to TikTok, which is growing his fan base. And then when you listen to his music, it's real, it's authentic, it's street, it's real. So, you know, some people is too gangster for this shit today. I tell you, if you too gangster, I can't do nothing for you. If you too gangster to have a sense of humor or something the kids want to talk about or laugh about or TikTok too, I can't do nothing with you because I can't do those things.
Right. Yeah, you can't be funny and
I can take your product and I can put it in places that you can't, but you got to create the product.
Yeah, I really do think like Rayvon is like kind of an evolution of Kendrick, right? Because like Kendrick is obviously to the point. I always say there's like,
listen. Like there's only one game.
There's only one Kendrick. No, but what I was gonna say was this.
I think Rayvon is talented enough to one day we'll be sitting here saying there's only one.
Well, that's
Rayvon.
what I was gonna say. Like if you think of Kendrick, right? Kendrick is, in my opinion, top 5 all time. That's my personal opinion. My personal opinion, right?
I agree with you.
I always tell people, if you got Biggie in your top 5 and he only put out 2 albums, how the fuck don't you got Kendrick in your top 5?
You know the first time I heard Kendrick?
When?
Was in New York. Top Dog and them came out there. They was just moving around. I introduced them to K-Slay. Shaq and my guy Money Mark was doing this thing in Long Island. Everybody was there. Bun B, everybody was there performing and shit like that. And fucking Papoose had got up there. J-Rock went. Papoose get up there and does that. Ends his set with alphabetical slaughter.
Right. Classic.
Crazy.
Mixtape classic.
Kendrick at the time, who was motherfucking K-Dot.
K-Dot, yep.
Sitting over there, the shy guy. You know, he looking at me and I'm looking at him. I'm looking at Top. I'm like, Top. He like, yeah, I'm like, you want to go up there after that? He like, yeah. I'm like, you sure you want to go up there after that? Papoose
in New York?
In New York?
Right.
He like, yeah. Right. And he went up there, and you know, you get up there, give somebody the mic, you kind of fade to the left, you talking, and right when he started going, I'm like, what the fuck? I look at Top, I say, Top, that's the one.
Yeah.
That the first time I heard Kendrick get down was when he came behind Papoose
in New York.
Slaughter. And Papoose gonna make it hard for you.
He'll make it hard for anybody.
Yeah, so.
Especially, I'm assuming this was like 06?
Somewhere like that.
Yeah, this is like peak Papoose.
Yeah, straight
Papoose
up.
And K-Slay running the mixtape shit.
Running the mixtape shit. Renting all the Justo, you know what I'm saying? And it was then, so that was my first bar of Kendrick Lamar. At that time.
I just think Kendrick, like his lyrical prowess and like, you know, Kendrick is on a level kind of where Cole's at, right? Where like they don't need to be on TikTok. They're omnipresent. They're omnipresent. But I think Rayvon has the opportunity to be the like lyrical person that's kind of, you know, when we think of the young like generation, right? I think you can think of Corday. You can think of a few guys who are kind of who can get down with the bars, right? But I think Rayvon has an opportunity.
Rayvon got that edgy shit to him. Like he like, you know, like our True Car got that edgy shit to him. You know, you need that pain.
Rayvon's got Rayvon played a song. I don't know if it's ever gonna come out, but he played a song that like made me tear up in the studio because it was about when he lost his baby mom. And it was crazy. And I'm like, man, he's got this, but then he also has the social media shit on lock because he's fucking hilarious.
He's funny as fuck, right? Man. That damn Dear Diary shit he does, bro.
Yeah.
That shit caught me off guard one day. I didn't know what he was doing. I spit all my food. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Some of your mama boo-booed on myself. I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But yeah, but he has a sense of humor, man. Shout out to Ray Vaughn. He gonna be something great.
Top's got one for sure, man.
TDE gonna continue to.
Hey, look at Isaiah. I look at Isaiah Rashad doing numbers. Whole tour sold out.
Coming again. I seen something popped up on SZA. You know what I mean? J Rock still over there doing his thing. You know what I mean? Schoolboy Q, and the other nephew from Carson. He's a beast too. Absol.
Yeah, Absol's.
You know, Absol don't write.
He's an alien.
He goes in the studio, turns off the lights, puts his arms behind his back, and goes.
Yeah, Absol's an alien.
Yeah.
Would you ever do a podcast yourself, Wack?
They've been reaching for me to do it. Academics, he hinted around. Maybe I'll do something with him. My guys at Paradigm, Fred and Andrew Ruff, they've been in conversation with a few platforms. So yeah, I definitely would consider it. I wouldn't mind. It'd be another platform, but I would want to put the attention on those people that they can't see. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like,
share your platform with some people who really benefit off it.
Drake was once one of those guys that people couldn't see. Mm-hmm. You know, you never know. You know, it's out there. It's a lot of them out there. So I would definitely want to put my attention on those if I did my podcast. We can mix in the common shit,
right.
But I would want to be that gateway to the underground artists. You know what I mean? The underground producers. You know, the management, those CEOs up and coming, to put some light on them.
You talked about how when you first signed Blueface, you helped get his credit together, helped him get to the house. Let's say you signed somebody today and they got a 500 credit score. Yeah. How do you help them get their shit together? Because I think that this is one of the more underappreciated things about you.
Outside of music in the streets, you know, I'm a businessman.
Yes.
So, you know, shout out to my man Travis Wilson. That's the secret to my success. Trav for the stars. Follow him on Instagram. I'm definitely going to have them pull a profile, and I'll have my team sit down, and we're going to look at everything they have going on. And these is costs and expenses that I absorb. I don't charge this back to them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And we're going to look at what's going on with them. We're going to get them right. You know what I mean? A lot of these, they come and they got fucking repos and lates. They don't know. They just, I get the car, I'm out. You know, I pay it when I pay it. So I definitely want to get them right with that. You know, you can't be running around here with no medical and shit. You know what I'm saying? You need dental work done. You need to do that. A lot of you artists, for real, y'all got $10,000 of clothes on, $200,000 of jewelry. Yo, listen, I know you got used to looking at yourself like that. Yo, bro, go on to the dentist, spend a little money.
Get your fucking teeth together.
Get your teeth together, man. Just real shit, man. Y'all need to definitely do that and make sure that your kids don't come up the way you come up because you used to seeing yourself like that, and make sure you keep them right and keep them together. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just about, you know, I want them to be a reflection of me and then grow to become better than me.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
You know, segueing how you know, we were just talking about how your daughter, you know, unfortunately she tore her Achilles.
She just tore her Achilles, yeah.
But you always, you know,
that's why I text you. I'm like, yo, I'm at Kaiser with my daughter.
You're a great father, man. Like, you know, whether your daughter has a cheerleading competition in Vegas, you're there. Yeah. You always say, like, you know, I want my daughter, like, I want my children to not follow in my footsteps.
Yeah, I want my son to be better than me. Like, me and my son kind of we hit a rough patch a couple months ago. You know what I mean? But he's right there at that stage of where he's seeing it his way and I'm seeing it my way. He just turned 27, right? But, you know, he's been manning the house all this time because I'm not there half the time. Me and my wife, we here, there, whatever, right? But, you know, we hit a rough patch to where, you know, he did something that I respected he did. I came home one day and he was gone. You know what I'm saying? He was gone, but on the flip side, what I'm going to do, make him come home? Man grown.
Right.
You know, I didn't gave him everything I can give him, but I'm still here to give him some more. He know I'm here if he slipping and falling, but catch him and I got him. But, you know, just the fact that he stepped out there let me know, okay, you know, he manning up. You know what I'm saying? He's manning up. You know
how do your kids feel about your public persona?
They really don't say nothing to me about it. Because, you know, my kids growing up around me, I never hid who I was.
They're like, that's just dad. Just everybody sees him.
They don't, you know, they'll come tell me certain things, or sometimes they'll know when I did something because they
Because it's on the internet. Yeah.
Their phone goes crazy. The people, you know, people want answers, but you know they don't really say too much. They don't really pay no attention because they watch me. People be thinking I'm serious half the time. When I'm doing it, they knowing I'm doing something because I'm laughing while I'm doing it, and then the world just takes it very, very serious, which answers my question to where the perception of the industry, right? People don't know what's real and what's fake.
That's real. That's crazy because, like you had said earlier, like 6ix9ine kind of his mission is to expose, quote unquote, the streets, right?
That's his mission.
And
what shouldn't be, because if you know that they not coming for you and you ain't got the people with you, you should just take that as an opportunity to just live your life.
Well, I was gonna say, like, how much of what he's saying is true is in terms of the quote unquote streets kind of. And the industry, like you said, right? The perception is that they're both the same when they're not, right?
No, they're definitely not.
So isn't what he's trying to do kind of exposing what you're saying is the biggest misconception?
It's definitely, it's not this. Listen, man, I don't advise any of the youth to give their life to the streets. The first chance and first opportunity you have to get out of the streets, to get out of the ghetto, whether it's going to college, whether it's a foreign exchange program in another country, whether you go to the military or the police academy, I'm telling you, take that route, take that lane. I need more of our youth that's Crips and blood orientated uncles, brothers that got 8, 9 generations of this shit to go to the police academy. We steadily complaining about how they doing us when they pull us over. I want somebody to pull me over that understands where I come from. That's not nervous and
comes from the same place as you.
That's not nervous and jittery and got their lunch money took. You know, the only way we gonna turn it around is to put some of us in there.
Yeah. I think that's
you can't take the house without getting in the house.
Right. How you ever gonna change it if you're not?
Yeah, that's what we gotta do. I haven't made the decision or been in part of the decision making in over 25 years of somebody getting put on my neighborhood. And then my homeboys' kids just gangbang that I run across, I don't even allow them to call me big homie. Because I don't want to have no gang association or ties with you like that because that ain't what I want for you. If I had it my way, it wouldn't be nobody else initiated from this day forward. And hopefully 10, 15, 20 years from now, it'll all phase out and we just be one as a people.
Yeah, man.
And I just don't like you because I don't like you.
Not because of what somebody did 10 years ago that's from the same place we're from.
I mean, that's really what page I'm on if you really want to know.
Yeah, man. I think that's hopefully that rubs off on a lot of this generation.
You know, I'm not going to denounce that I'm a thug and I come from that gangster shit and I come from it. I ain't gonna never denounce that because I ain't ashamed. And I think that's what made me who I am today, to be able to have these type of conversations that had the type of influence that I have on some of these youngsters. I don't denounce it, but I'm not gonna be one to sit here and be a hypocrite and say that's the way to go because some of us didn't make it out.
Yeah, it's real, man. That's real. I think
just keeping it 100 on the 100th episode.
On the 100th episode. So what is the latest with Blueface fighting 6ix9ine? Is it for sure going to happen?
They both agreed to it. It's probably going to be something that happens in the Middle East. It just get the funds up because for that to happen. No, you know, it's a lot of my investors in Saudi and Bahrain and Qatar that's coming to the table with it. Because, you know,
that's going to be a big bag.
A real big bag.
Blueface is probably going to mop him up for sure.
I mean, listen, I got all faith that Blueface is going to win the fight.
I saw Blueface could has hands.
Blueface can fight.
Yeah.
He can fight, he can box, and he learned, you know, a valuable lesson when it comes to training. Our little inside joke, something I know that he won't do or violate again. You know what I mean?
Would you ever step in the ring as a celebrity fight?
Definitely, depending on, you know, if the bag is right. Definitely get
my money is on you.
I'm not gonna box. We gonna lock up. I'm gonna try to get it out the way quick. I've never been a boxer. I've been a brawler. You know what I mean? So that's what that is. You know, I'm gonna call on Mike to train me. My partner, old Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? I definitely Mike gonna be my trainer.
What is Mike Tyson like? I
cool as fuck. Real. Don't know who he is. Mike has not to say he don't know who he is as a person. As
he doesn't understand who he is to the world.
He don't give a fuck about that. All that famous Mike Tyson. Yo, Wack, let's go to the store.
He's a fucking icon.
Get in the car. Well, we can get in the car.
You're Mike Tyson.
We gonna walk to the store.
Yeah.
You know, I'm cool as hell, laid back, down to earth, and he gonna speak his mind.
Has he convinced you to try any psychedelics, Wack? Because you know he's a big psychedelic guy.
Everybody know I don't do nothing. So
no, I know you don't do nothing, but psychedelics are different.
I'm not fucking with that. Nobody wants to see me do anything.
I think if you
imagine me off some Hennessy or a damn.
No, I don't want to see you.
Talking about some edibles?
I don't want to see you.
I don't even know what is psychedelics.
Mushrooms.
Oh hell no!
I think you could cut through and really grow.
That's out.
You wouldn't do a shroom trip with Mike Tyson?
No, I'm not doing. Man, what? I think I'll die.
No, you won't die.
Yeah, well,
you'll be reborn.
The kids do not listen to this type of conversation. This is peer. You know what? And I want to touch on this too, man. Like, because we got a situation going on in our streets with the drugs.
Man, rest in peace to Michael K. Williams.
Yeah, good dude, man. Good. I just got through watching Chalky White.
Man, Boardwalk Empire, one of his best characters.
But the kids, y'all need to understand, I don't know if y'all know what Russian roulette is. Russian roulette is when they take a revolver, they put one bullet in there and they spin the chamber and they click the gun. And if that bullet lies in the wrong spot,
you're dead.
You're dead, right? These days, these people that are manufacturing these drugs are lacing these drugs with this fentanyl, right? And the people that you are buying these drugs from, they don't know.
They don't.
If they laced or not.
And they're going to tell you, I got the purest shit, but they don't know.
You are playing Russian roulette with your life, taking these pills, tooting this cocaine.
Even doing coke, man.
I strongly advise you guys to stop. You take it, you go to sleep, you don't wake up.
Period.
Right? And I really strongly advise you guys to look into yourself, to ask yourself, is this drug, this pill, whatever it may be, worth the risk of you possibly not waking up?
I think if you look at the legends we've lost in the last 3 or 4 years, I mean, there was a comedian that passed away. There was like in Venice.
Listen, I got to correct myself because I was real ignorant to what this fentanyl was, and I think I could be wrong. I think this might be what killed Mac Miller.
It is.
Right? And when Mac Miller died, I made a statement like, yo, that's on him. That man know what he was doing, taking all these drugs. He overdosed. I was under the impression that dude was just abusing.
Just doing a bunch. Now, I think he
took
the wrong shit.
He took the wrong fucking drug. So, I want to, my apologies, man. You know what I mean? Because I was really ignorant to what fentanyl was. I didn't know. That's not some household shit in the streets.
Did you see the video of the cop who took a whiff of it on a stop and he almost died on the side of the street?
I
think it was in San Diego.
This is serious, bro. That's why I tell my kids, you don't accept a Tylenol.
It's the cheapest shit, right? And
it stretches it like times 5.
Imagine if you have a kilo of coke and you're a drug dealer.
Times 5.
You could stretch it times 5.
Some crazy shit.
But the problem is, you're going to kill. How many people are you going to fucking kill?
And I'm not going to lie, man. Listen to our rappers out here that's influencing the kids. A lot of it going to start with y'all, man. Because y'all glorifying it. And I know y'all not glorifying using drugs that have fentanyl. But the fact that this is how they sneaking it in on us, you know what I mean? Maybe y'all need to be a little more educational about it. I can't tell y'all what to do, what to say, how to live y'all life. But we all got little brothers, you know what I mean? We all got family, you know what I mean? To where maybe we may want to educate them to where, I take a Xanny of this, but this shit is getting bad. You may want to eliminate, you know what I mean, doing this because of what's going on with it. You know what I mean? Just my reach to all you rappers that got
I just fans. Saw, I was watching an episode of Joe Rogan that just came out, and he was talking about Michael K. Williams, who died, and obviously there were some comedians in a house in Venice where I'm
still a little up in there because I'm hearing cocaine, I'm hearing heroin.
I don't know. I'm hearing this cocaine, right? As far as like
then just the day before the comedians.
The comedians in Venice,
same shit.
Right? And look, at the end of the day, I've never done cocaine. The only drugs I've ever done is weed and shrooms. But you know how it is. You've been in a situation where everyone's passing around a plate of coke,
Yeah.
I've witnessed that. I've never participated in it, but
just imagine shit laced with the fentanyl, bro.
Everybody who hits it is on the ground.
It's gone.
But Joe Rogan was saying like what probably is the like uneasy truth that people aren't going to want to like admit to as far as politicians is like you got to legalize all drugs so the product at least is controlled because people are going to do drugs either way, right?
Fentanyl is, hey, look, they catch you with that shit, they giving you life.
They putting you in under the fucking prison.
They catch you with that fentanyl. That shit is like what PCP was on steroids. They catch you with that, you out of here.
Yeah, man, and it's crazy because there's no quality control in the drugs in drugs anymore.
Oh wow,
what's the quality control?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
All I know is the shit ain't for us. It ain't for my people. Nobody's people. It ain't for our youth, man. And we really need to start educating these kids on what fentanyl is and what it will do to you if they happen to be it. Because I don't think they know. I didn't know at one point in time.
Right. Yeah, it is Russian. It's literally Russian roulette.
Russian roulette, bro. If you get it,
it's over.
It's over.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we definitely need to do that. I hear you back at radio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We launched, we launched the syndicated show back at Real 92.3.
Keeping it real 92.3, doing this thing. I'm seeing the podcast grow.
I got let go, and then back on the station is 7 months. Where they do that at?
How did you get let go? What you ventured off to do, right? You went back to radio with that.
Yeah.
What you was doing. You know what I mean? So now it ain't like you had to shut this down. This is part of that.
The way I looked at what happened with me was I had already had the thought in my mind to leave terrestrial radio and launch my own syndicated show because I see that that's where the business is heading, right? So when everything happened, for people who don't know, I got let go in December for budget cuts, right? iHeart laid off like 2,000 people or something.
Gotcha.
So I got laid off, but I wasn't emotional about it. I was like, hey, thank you, Doc, for the look. Thank you, AO. Kept my relation. I'm like, look, I told AO, I said, look, I'm launching this radio show. And, I got put on in Vegas at first, at AO station in Vegas. And then, just put my head down and got to it. And an opportunity presented itself.
You always been a real one. You know what I mean?
For that, yeah.
And got my attention being a real one. So, it ain't going to stop you, bro. Like, I'm going to be real. your best is yet to come.
Yeah, man, I feel that.
You know what I mean? I value our relationship because I know it's going to come a day where I'm walking in somewhere and the decision going to be up to Bootleg Kev. And I'm going to value that I got 15, 20, 25 years in with this man. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's how I build my relationships with people. So, I see it in you. You understand this business. You've taken your hits in this business.
Yeah,
you bounce back for this business. And I know you still reaching in this business. So, the best for you is yet to come, man.
I would just tell everyone, man, bet on yourself. Because literally that's all I did. I just went all in on me. I said, I'm going to launch a radio show. And we launched with KKFR as our first affiliate in Phoenix. And now, we're on 7 stations, probably about to be like 15 real soon.
That's great.
Did my YouTube shit.
Let y'all know, my little brother Ray J, my business partner, he's still working. He loves to give back to the community.
Ray J's a legend. Ray J's a legend.
He has this safe sex campaign going on. He got his new line of
Raytronics.
No, he got new condoms coming out.
There's going to be Ray J condoms.
He got condoms coming out.
They better be Magnum size because we've seen the video. That man is packing.
Gotta be, I don't know nothing about that.
You didn't watch the sex tape?
Yo, listen. All I know is
you didn't see the sex tape?
All I know is this. Kanye, holla at me, bro. We got part 2 on the laptop. Ain't never been seen. We'd love for you to have it. It'd be a great personal private NFT.
Wait. So there's another Ray J Kim K sex tape? That we haven't seen.
Yeah, that was more graphic and better than the first one.
Is it ever going to see the light of day?
I mean, me personally, I would never give it to anybody but Kanye, because he's got kids, a mother, his children. It's a lot of people that didn't try to reach for that.
For a price tag, obviously, Kanye could buy it from you, or would you just give it to him and say,
you know what? I probably would, because it's Kanye. I probably would give it to Kanye because it's Kanye.
Is Ray J in the same mind state as you? Because
that's my little brother. We
might wake up one day and Ray J's like, fuck it.
Nah, because you
Onlyfans.com/Ray J.
You gotta remember Ray J's a father now too.
He is.
You understand what I'm saying? So, and Ray J really
and a boss
is he's a great guy. So I think we would probably gift that to him. You know what I'm saying? If ever that day was to come, we was to sit down, we would gift that to him. He got children by that woman.
You've seen the part 2?
I mean, we've been in our life 10, 11, 12 years.
So you've seen the unreleased Kim?
Of course. What do you mean?
Wow. And it was better than the first one?
Longer, all that. Wow.
Hey, well, listen, Kanye, tap in with Wack 100.
Yeah, we'll gift that to him. We you know, that's for him. You know what I mean? We can't put that out there in the world like that. Be disrespectful.
Worst case scenario, Kanye becomes the president in like 8 years, and you want to hit like $1 billion lick.
Not gonna
I'm
happen.
just saying.
You know,
I personally wouldn't do that.
You know what's bigger than Kanye and Kim?
What?
Those children. I understand the internet.
That is true, man. They got kids.
Not gonna happen. Not on my watch.
Hey, man, that's what makes you different, Wack.
You know what I'm saying? So
Wack 100, episode 100 of the Bootleg Kev Podcast.
West up.
Ending with a fucking, just a huge revelation.
Yo, let's go. Shout out to all my family, my loved ones, everybody out there that support me. Incredible Diapers coming. My man Steve Marcano.
15.
You know
Is it 15 hours of soaking up the?
That shit is crazy, man.
Incredible
I've been
Diapers.
Giving them to people. They like, yo, my babies, my kids are waking up at night because they dry.
Wow.
I spent a lot of money. I really went. Shout out to American Gangster. American Gangster inspired me to do what I did. Because I went Frank Lucas and went to the source. Like, I went to China. Me and my wife was in the pickup, and my business partner, Travis Wilson, we was in the pickup. And,
going straight to where they make the diapers.
Yep. And
cutting out the
Bethany
middleman.
And we went out there, right there. They witnessed it. You know what I mean? So it was crazy. So, you know, they could have made a left and a right. My ass would have never came.
You would have never there.
Wouldn't have known.
There it is, man.
So it's coming.
Wack 100, episode 100 of the Bootleg Kev Podcast.
And I'm going to leak something out.
Okay.
Instagram been tripping. Y'all stay tuned. Be on the lookout for Insta Rated coming soon.
Insta what?
Insta Rated.
Well, they took your IG down for a bit.
They take it every 2 weeks for something.
Because I saw your Instagram after the 6ix9ine shit was just gone, and then it came back, and there was this profile that had like 18,000 followers that people thought was yours.
That ain't me. Wack 100 official is not me. It's a fake page. They've been getting people to send them money for consultant fees and all that. Do not send them nothing. But, you know, it's getting to a point that watch what they do with Bootsy and a few other artists. It's like, you know, I got a nice little tech team. Shout out to my man Sam at Brave Energy Drink. We didn't put our tech team together. We about 2 million lines of code in.
So you're gonna be launching your own social platform.
Oh, definitely. Indie Life is coming. Insta Rated is coming.
There it is.
Uncensored.
Man. There it is. Wack 100.
There it is.
Post whatever you want.
You know what I'm saying? Get your money.
Boom.
West up.